Gangster. 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 Gangster.
Synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. We watch you stay in the great manner. We leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys. Synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. We watch you stay in the great manner. We leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys.
Here's an enterprise that will change the course of UK rap. So this we exercise. Re-energize our minds to full supplies. No surprise that we follow the ways of the wise to amaze your eyes. Outstanding and unmistakable, we take first prize. Whack MCs visit the spirit in disguise. Reality from this MC, no lies. And when the side gives you the lows, we bring the highs. Slack rhymes make me sigh. We need to cut that shit up and get it circumcised. Paralyze them beats, sterilize them lyrics and fade them out. This new side will leave you mesmerized. I memorize the shows and improvise before we go, so that you realize no one can touch such amazing mind patterns and harmonize. With miles and piles of files of styles, we disguise the way to
synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. When watch us in the great matter, we leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys.
I'm dynamic, a bit of a rhyme addict, and I'm fine at it. I won't go down like Titanic. I got style for my planet. You panicked and vanished, embarrassed. You battled the baddest. You banished and challenging rappers who damage my community. No one's immune to me. I bruise MCs so fluently. Hip hop is you and me. I got this opportunity to prove MCs are not abusing me, confusing me like puberty. We need some unity. We're vulnerable like nudity. Musically feed them apples and eat them from shackles to freedom. I plot trees and hot like bitches and seize them. My legion will lead them. Undefeated faces with cheaters, and I'll amaze them like Jesus. In church creating speeches and sophitas. Intravenously dreaming of Venus. We're in an afterlife from Aphrodite to titties and penises. Don't believe in this? Talking about the people that I've seen you with. I clean you with detergent. Alerting those that you're sleeping with. With great big pussies you could feed a fest. And cause of syphilis it bleeds a bit. Now I told you it would lead to this. Seems you missed the point of reading this. I leave you with decisions hoping that you're dreaming this.
Is it real?
Indeed it is. How'd you feel revealing this?
I need a bitch.
Go clean your dick.
But when?
Dreaming shit. Too busy looking at a cleaver is to see the bitch. Obsessed like fever pitch. I need a hit. I need a hit.
Synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. When watch us in the great matter, we leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys.
Volcanoes erupt and the rains they pour. Now the pressure leaders speak across my bathroom floor. All the old men snore and the lions roar. Depth text explore the explorations. Cause many b-boys have the high expectations, or they change the channel. We score 10 on the panel. Bored of living now, like a barge journey on a Manchester canal. We're up and we're in. You have to sink or swim. The rubber dinghies like roadside, quote and four square. I ain't no 25-yard badge holder, holding on my shoulder lifesaver. Survival of the quickest and swiftest, the greatest and straightest target aimer. Fly, lion tamer, serpent maimer, fresh key strainer. All important on the depth X section, quote, fishing, unquote, expedition, mission, retainer. Now leave those cups upon the drainer. High altitude, oxygen lacks for the tracks of river wax. Wearing one-ton backpacks. Essential in the field of skill building. Well, like a tall building, not easy to get over, but simple to get into. Like a rock, like a boulder, hard to move as it gets older. It's rough moving on as a hip-hop soldier. Journeys get rough when the roads turn to rivers. Not enough givers, too many takers and fakers 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 and
Synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. When watch us in the great matter, we leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys. Synchronize, organize together so that we hypnotize. When watch us in the great matter, we leave you with a great day, but you'll still say, why? I'm into those guys.
Yo. Yo, Gangsta Hippy, what's good? Big up all the gangsters, big up all the hippies and everyone in between.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, big up Leo on the ones and twos. Big up my special guest host for the day, DPF. What's good, brother?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah.
Don't know my bro.
Absolutely. Loving it.
And I introduce everyone as legends, do you know what I mean? But this guy really is a fucking
Absolutely.
legend.
Absolutely.
DPF, do the introduction.
So this guy, for you know, no one can tell me any different. Is the godfather of hip hop in the area that we live and surrounding
East
areas.
Anglia.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, this guy was like, but way before you even knew what you were doing. This guy was like, I don't know, what, 10 years old or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? And just rapping like Shaheem, the rugged child or something like back.
The man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
The myth.
yeah,
The
man,
legend.
absolutely.
Chrome, what's good, bro?
Big up, big up.
What's good, my bro?
Easy. How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, it's hard to introduce you as a rapper or, do you know what I mean? Rapper,
Yeah, I get that.
DJ, producer,
Yeah.
B-boy,
Yeah.
hip-hop legend, do you know what I mean?
Thank you,
He's
man.
done a
Yeah.
couple of films as well. We won't go into that. You won't want to watch them.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, they're not good.
got them
Yeah.
on VHS, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But, how you
Chrome
been,
does
bro?
Dallas.
Snowboarding was never my thing. That was the problem. Yeah. Yeah.
There's always ways to keep
yeah.
yourself busy and
Yeah,
amused,
yeah.
in, especially when you're with Joe.
Yeah.
How you been anyway?
Good, thank you. Yeah, good. Working hard. You know, enjoying time with the family.
Yeah.
Still making music.
I heard that.
Passionate about music still.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, everything's good, man.
Family's all good?
Yeah, family's brilliant. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Girls
nice.
are good. And yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I like to think that I've stayed consistent over the years, but then I look at you and I just think, do you know what I mean? You really have been consistent all these years, do you know what I mean? I mean, when did you get into hip-hop?
So it's the classic one of my age. In 1983, there was a video on Top of the Pops, which was Buffalo Girls by Malcolm McLaren.
Okay.
I remember the night of watching it on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
Literally sitting there with my brother, who's 4 years older than me,
Yeah.
and going, what's that? Like,
Yeah.
you know, this video with like breaking going on, and the first time you're seeing someone actually move a record back and forth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, I think it was 82.
Okay.
So that happened, and I remember the next day going into the school playground and everyone trying to like fucking break on the playground floor and stuff.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's like people having epileptic fits there everywhere on the playground.
Yeah.
But it was like that. Do you know what I mean? Kids were just like, "Did you see that video? Did you see that thing last night on Top of the Pops?"
Yeah.
Massive impact.
Back in them days, you know what I mean? Before there was any social media, it was like everyone watched Top of the Pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the next thing. Everyone in school the next day was all talking about it, and it was from there.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's what sort of gave me that instant twig of like this thing called hip hop. Of
Yeah.
course, I didn't know that was what it was, but
Yeah.
you know, that was like the instant, like the thing that
So
gave.
what was
me
that song, sorry?
Buffalo Girls, Malcolm McLaren.
Malcolm McLaren.
Yeah, Buffalo Girls.
And
So produced by Trevor Horn, who was part of the crew called Art of Noise.
okay, yeah.
That made really random experimental. It was killer producer.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm McLaren, who was the Sex Pistols manager,
Right.
ended up going over to New York, experiencing like hip hop firsthand, and met these two guys who ran a radio show, the world famous Supreme Team.
Right, yeah.
Who rapped, and he got them to rap on this tune. And yeah, that was it. It was like history from there, though. It was like, you know, the whole breaking scene just exploded.
Yeah.
Like nationwide. So there's like everyone's getting their cardboard out and trying to do knee spins and
Yeah.
caterpillars and windmills and stuff.
So shit, this is 40 years ago, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
This
was
is
I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Seven years old.
And that just got you hooked, yeah.
Totally. Well, the thing after that was my brother Wayne, right?
Yeah.
So my brother came home about 2 weeks or so after that with a copy of this album Electro One.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a compilation album, Street Sounds Electro One, and I remember, you know, I'm listening to, what was I listening to at the time? I was listening to like Bucks Fizz.
Yeah, I was going to say
Adam
what
and the
were you
Ants.
listening to
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Madness.
Of course, you're 7, yeah.
You know, all that kind of stuff. It's stuff that's in the charts. He brings this album home, Electro One, puts the needle on, and I'm like, what is that? I was just like, mind blown.
and that was it. And from that moment on, it was like, right, I want more of this, you know. And we're all trying to sort of like,
Yeah.
dance to it, going, wow, check us out.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Oh,
you know.
I love that.
And it was that thing. After, so a few electro albums came out in quick succession. Electro 4 came out, and it had a track on it, Sucker MCs by Run DMC. So this was now 84, right? Sucker MCs, and I remember hearing that, the needle drop. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhymes. If I said this rhyme, I'm about to say it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
9 years old, and I'm like, right, I want to try that. And I remember sitting and trying to write a rap after hearing that, and that was it.
So you was 9.
Can you remember the bars you wrote?
No, but it wasn't to Sucker MC's beat because I didn't have an instrumental. The beat I chose was a Janet Jackson song of some sort.
Yeah.
I can't remember which Janet Jackson, but it was like some sort of love rap.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, but that's kind of what I did.
That's the same as 50 Cent in his film. Remember, he was in Get Rich or Die Trying. He raps about his girl.
Yeah.
When he's a kid,
that's
don't
true.
he?
Yeah,
I can't remember
yeah.
the song, but yeah, do you know what I mean? Of course, your crush at school or whatever, it makes sense.
So,
Doesn't
I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I
that's
mean,
mad.
I wasn't getting any skins, but did I?
Yeah.
In school, that's for sure.
Body count 0. Well, I'd hope so, actually, at
9.
that age.
I mean, it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I don't know.
Lakenham, though.
I don't know, a peck on the cheek maybe or something.
Lakenham, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure we were playing like sort of, you know. Yeah, we won't go into that. Let's move on. Let's move on.
I made a little boy band at school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, middle school.
Made
we
little
used-
boy do what?
do you know what I mean? Lots of things. But now we made a little boy band, do you know what I mean? It definitely weren't hip hop. That was more East 17 and
Right,
stuff,
right,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's
Dance
funny,
moves
isn't
and
it?
stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, all these years later, do you know what I mean? I'm on about consistency, like you don't stop. You're always doing something, do you know what I mean? And you know,
I think from that moment of like hearing, you know, let's go back to that electro one and that moment of hearing that music, that feeling of hearing that and that connection that I had with the music has stayed with me all the way through.
yeah,
So that consistency and that passion
yeah,
to actually make the music, I feel has just always been there.
Yeah.
I've just never kind of let go of it.
yeah.
Just the way that makes you feel like,
Yeah.
hang on, this is something like,
It's just,
Do you know what I mean?
it's,
Like-
it's life for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
yeah.
So even listening to hip hop makes you feel like that still.
Oh man, I mean, like just the last few weeks, the LL Cool J album.
Yeah, yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
it's sent me crazy.
Yeah.
That, you know, I remember buying Radio, like his first album,
Yeah.
in '85 when I first moved to Norwich. We had it on tape.
Right.
You know, so again, I'm 10 years old and I'm hearing this guy, LL Cool J, and his raps on that, like, you know, had changed everything.
Yeah.
Run DMC had done it, and then he came out and changed it again, and it just switched everything about, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he's now, what is he, 56?
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he is. Have you listened to the album?
Yeah, and,
No.
and,
Like,
and
he's
that-
writing, man.
Yeah,
he's
I've heard
he's
about it, but I
rapping.
need
He's
to- I
rapping.
need to listen
He's
to
like
it, yeah.
proper
Yeah.
fucking
But
rapping.
Also,
It's
also
amazing.
the cadence in his voice and
Yeah.
and the projection of his voice and everything is just like.
He's painting pictures.
Almost better, like. Do you know what I mean? Like not almost better, but like. Do you know what I mean? It's got
No,
the
but it's-
same amount of.
He's
venom and-
managing to keep contemporary
Yeah.
whilst holding all of his, you know, his own style and delivery that he always had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's keeping it like he's moving on into like a new kind of era for himself. You know, it's
yeah.
like he's setting himself up for another 10 years or so.
Yeah,
At least.
not every rapper, not even someone who like big famous rappers, even like underground. Not everyone manages to like grow
To
and
transcend,
evolve.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Some people that have done it brilliantly is like people like Busta Rhymes, Snoop Dogg. Do you know what I mean? They just kind of go through the generations, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
They're
yeah.
still there.
I feel that. Yeah.
I mean, from the older, I'm like, what older rappers are still about from like the 80s and stuff? Because the Big Daddy Kanes and the Rakims, they're not very.
They're not quite doing it.
Still see like the odd
Say
little
that.
freestyle or
Still
something.
see
don't
them
they?
about.
So
Yeah.
there is a crew called the B-Boys, of which their first tune came out in '83, I think, '84. One of the rappers is Donald D, part of the Rhyme Syndicate with Ice-T. So they've just put a new album out, and I mean he must be 60,
Yeah, man.
and they're making it's very boom bap, and it's quite, you know, simplistic rhyme styles.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's still doing it is like he's only doing it because it's a passion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like it's not a money thing. Do you know what I mean? They're not searching for cash or anything like that. It's purely
because
about,
it's in your blood.
it's just
like,
it's inbuilt.
Yeah. Once you do that, and you do that for a long time, do you know what I mean? Once you do anything, I guess, you know, in any spectrum of life or whatever, you do something and you become good at it, or even if you just have a passion, it becomes part of you.
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
totally.
it's like even if you know, some people I know that, like, you know, just like, I'm not going to do it anymore, and they end up doing it again because they can't help it. They have to do it, and they're doing it in the shower. They're rapping in the shower.
It's just
Have you
It's just
had
so part-
periods where you've not done anything musically,
So
and how did that affect you? If you
so
did?
I started properly rhyming, I say, in 1987.
Yeah.
When we started the group Deftex in 87, right?
Yeah,
We put out our first record in 1990.
right.
I've had releases every single year since, apart from
Wow.
1997.
That deserves a. You know, that's impressive, bro.
The only one year.
That's impressive.
Thank you, man. The only one year it didn't happen is 97 when Wayne was hit by the car, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my brother had a proper accident where he was in a coma for quite a while, and
It's a taxi, wasn't it?
yeah, and that kind of put everything out, and I was just, my head was all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So that one year I didn't really focus, but I came back after that, and that's when the Deftex stuff really sort of kicked off,
Yeah,
and that's when Joe was very much a part of that. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
ever since every year since, I've kind of like pushed.
Yeah, that's mad. I just want to quickly, while I remember the first time, I'm pretty sure it's the first time I saw you, was it Skits and Rodney P at the Art Centre?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, shots.
So
Right.
would that
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
about 2000
maybe 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I went on holiday 2002, so it must have been 01, 02. do you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I remember.
I've got the poster for that. Yeah, it's like the Skits album cover, like the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been the Skits sort of logo and stuff. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Because I don't know if you was freestyling or whether, because I just remember, even to this day, I remember you saying a bar about the chandelier. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So I don't know if you was freestyling because
I
was a
don't know.
chandelier. But yeah,
I-
that
I-
always stuck with me. Do you know
My
what I mean?
freestyles were never really
But, so I was
that
there,
good, so I was
do you
probably
know what I mean?
doing writtens.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
I was there.
I tried, but yeah.
I ended up fucking robbing someone outside, do you know what I mean? Obviously, it was
Accidentally, yeah.
I do them all, do you know what I mean? And then, but yeah, and then I went to jail.
Because of that.
No, I'm not, do you know what I mean?
It's a different crime.
But then in 2005, someone had a Deftex CD, and you was on it, wasn't it? What was that
Yeah,
called?
the Serene Bug album. So the track that we just heard, the synchronized tune.
So that's the album
Which
I would
me,
have heard,
Joe-
isn't it?
So that it's off that album. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
yeah.
So that's the album I heard. The guy, what was his name? Matthew Page from Lower Stuff. He had that album.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, he's
Okay.
like, yeah, these guys are from Norwich. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I think I know these. Remember these guys? Do you know what I mean? So that was nice. And then boom, obviously I got out.
Yeah.
I just want
And
to
then,
shout out that it was actually me that you robbed outside of the.
I was never convicted of that. But yeah, it's hard to know what direction to go in. But just so boom, you've started rapping. You're now like.
Yeah, so this rhyme that I've written, we're going back to 84. I was living in the Midlands at the time. I think my phone is doing a little pingy business, so I'm just going to stick that over there. So 84, I've written my love rap,
Yeah.
you know, to my crush at school. It's whack. And then 10 years
What was
old,
her name?
Elizabeth Shearing.
Hey,
There you go. You see the twinkle in
What
his
you could
eye.
have won.
She missed out, man. She properly missed out. Check me out. I've made it. Yeah.
Made it to Lix's sofa.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Exactly. So in 85, moved to Norwich
Yeah. From
from the Midlands. So I lived in a little town called Stone, just outside Stoke.
Right, okay.
And my mum and then stepdad split, and my mum met this dude from Norwich. We moved to Norwich.
yeah.
It's me and my brother. And within about half a year, we meet Damien, DJ Shaw D.
Yeah.
Right? And Damien sort of So that's it. There was an advert in Bax Records, which was before Soundclash, right? So Soundclash used to be Bax Records.
Right.
Advert in the window. DJ wanted for a crew called the Sonic Assassins.
Right.
Who was that? You?
No.
No.
So this is a crew from Dereham, two guys,
Yeah.
and they've put this advert in the window. Damien applied, but we didn't know him at the time. My brother, who was a DJ, applied as well. And then they both turned up at this like meet.
Right.
Damien and Wayne ended up getting on really well. Sonic Assassins,
Not so
they
much.
were like, oh, these guys are a bit weird.
Yeah.
So Damien was like, oh, well, I live just down the road from where you live. And so Wayne went round there,
Yeah.
brought Damien back to ours and went, my brother's a rapper. And Damien's like, Damien saw me, I'm 10 years old,
Well, him?
looking about 5.
Yeah.
And he's like, he can't rap, surely.
Yeah.
And then I started busting some verses out, and Damien's like, what? You know, and it just gelled from there. And from that moment, we were like, right, let's form a crew. And Deftex was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
So who thought up the name Deftex?
My brother,
Okay.
I think it goes that because we were all from the breaking era, right? So we used to all break. My brother was really good at popping, and back in Stoke was in a crew called something Textronics.
Right.
Right.
God, I don't know whether it was Def Textronics, but it was something Textronics, and then he basically sort of nicked that and went, "We'll just be Deftex."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just literally like that. It was like Deftex.
It's such a you know, that.
It's a
era,
weird
that,
name.
It's not a weird name really in a sense because it's that era name, isn't it?
It's
Deftex,
definitely of that
Technotronics
era.
and fucking,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, you
we're
know,
deaf, we're fresh, don't
Yeah.
fess.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
hip hop was
fuck.
very
Yes.
it was very electronic, weren't it? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Back then.
Exactly,
Dun,
definitely the
dun,
age that we
dun,
grew up with electro and
dun,
stuff. Yeah,
dun,
it was definitely all that. So Mantronics and
yeah,
you
that's what
know,
I'm saying.
yeah,
Technotronics. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Def,
you know,
Def Fresh and yeah, whatever. You know, you get all these kind of crews.
Is
Yeah.
it so? Can I so before Anthropologist obviously was the next rapper to join Deftex.
Yeah.
He was a dancer for Deftex. at
Yeah.
one point. And was my sister a dancer briefly?
Yes. So before Mark joined,
Crazy.
your sister, big up Sam. Boop, 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 boop.
Big up. Send the blood.
Yeah, Sam and her then boyfriend Hugh.
Hugh Chung, sorry. Sorry.
Were our dancers.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this was like the Kid and Play era, right? So
yeah.
everyone had sort of did their dances on
Right,
stage
yeah,
and like
yeah.
do our routines and stuff.
Yeah, dope.
So good.
it's-
We should bring that back.
Yeah,
We
man.
should bring
yeah.
that back. Leo,
100.
Leo, you need to start going to the, you know what I mean? Like going to dance classes and stuff because we need you.
We need
man.
some
Like,
dancers.
I kind of like that with. I don't know your feelings on drill and kind of the newer stuff, but you do get that in a lot of drill rappers where
true.
they, do you know what I mean?
True.
They're down and doing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
fair enough.
that's
Yeah.
very true.
You know,
it's not necessarily routine as such, but like a lot of them are
Course.
kind of like down, and it's a lot
Yeah,
of dancing.
I
but
mean,
yeah, there's moves.
Jumping
Well,
the
you see
legs
those,
up and
like-
down and then kicking each other's
That's
foot
it.
at the back is so.
One
crazy.
of my favourite moments is the Up in Smoke tour
Right.
with West Side Connection
Uh huh.
doing the Crypt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And then, do you know what I mean? Doing the, you know, the Crip walk
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a classic.
It's classic,
And it's obviously
yeah.
not a hip hop dance, was
Something
it? But
I've
it's
never
like-
mastered. But
Yeah.
Bill's really
It was
good at
something
the
that
crib.
was never
Bill's
mastered.
got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, he's good like that.
Where is he?
Yeah, big up to Bill.
Where is Bill? Big up, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill's in Thetford.
Oh.
That's where Bill is.
Gangsta shit.
In the woods.
Maybe.
Just in the woods.
Oh, he might be because he's
Foraging
probably
for, like-
fishing.
Yeah, he probably and giving
So
the, giving
he
the
might
best
be in the
kiss,
woods.
Best fish the fish kiss. Yeah, doing that. Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, I know that.
So
Looking like
boom.
Goldie.
So let's go into that. So you're now in a group, Def Texas, what,
Yeah.
early 90s or something?
No, this is like end of '86.
Oh, so still in the 80s. you
Yeah.
formed
So
that. So what happened with Def Tex? Tell us, like, you formed and then.
so we put on a gig, right, which was like the first. This was the start of it all at Harwood Community Centre in Lakenham,
Right.
in Old Lakenham. So we hired out a community hall.
Yeah.
We got the mums to come in and serve like little bottles of Tip Top
Nice.
with the straw,
Tip
you know,
Top.
like
Yeah, yeah.
you know that kind. Of,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, classic.
We got a sound system in and you know, put the decks up and we performed. It was our first ever Deftex gig, and Sonic Assassins performed.
No way. Okay.
Right.
That's funny,
So
yeah.
Jez and Was I think they were called. And
Jesuit.
Jez was.
Jesuit. No,
Let's not mix them up with Jedwood.
Anyway,
Now, big up them if they're still about.
big up Sonic Assassins, because basically
No, that's cool.
it's mad.
No,
It's mad because, like, you know, we're talking about a time when there was no rappers about.
Yeah.
At school, no one rapped. I didn't know any other anyone that MC'd. I'd never met anyone in Norwich that had MC'd, apart from Sonic Assassins.
Right.
Now,
So that's how
No,
many.
so Sonic Assassins are from Dereham, right? So they're ahead of me, which is mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, how come you are rapping? There might be other people out there that might sort of come up to me and say, oh, well, but you know, Norwich was a small scene, especially back then.
Yeah.
We knew everyone. Do you know what I mean? As far as if you were hip hop, you'd go to Bax Records.
Yeah.
And so that connection was immediate. You'd just you'd just know, you'd just have these links. So.
And Norwich was a very different place back then. Do you know what I mean? Like it was. I mean,
It was tiny. I mean, hip hop was such a tiny community.
Tiny, yeah.
I mean, it is still now, but like, hip hop's massive now. So a lot of people are into hip hop, whereas back then, it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't in the charts and stuff, really.
So you've done the gig in Lake now?
Yeah, we did this gig in Lake, and then Sonic Assassins got booed off. I think they got renamed Chronic Assassins.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it all went a bit pear-shaped for them, bless them. So they disappeared from the scene. We then we entered the Battle of the Bands in Norwich competition, which I remember Damien going, yeah, we're going to do a Battle of the Bands. I was like, really? Okay. I don't know about that.
How old were you at this point?
So I'm 12
Okay,
now.
yeah, so that's
12 years old.
Right,
Anyway, we do it. We get through the first heat, and then we go to the final. We come second, which is cool.
Yeah.
And this was, they gave us a bit of money, and I think they gave us like a 2 days recording in the studio or something like that.
Nice.
So it's cool. So we went and made a couple of demos.
Yeah.
With a guy that didn't know how to work a sampler. It's just like, this is a proper mission.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was an absolute nightmare. But we managed to do it. Like, we kind of just collectively put our heads together and just sussed it out and did it and made a couple of tunes. And then...
Where was that studio, by the way?
Oh, it was out in the sticks somewhere.
Right.
I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, off the back of that, Damien saw an advert for a Battle of the Bands at Brixton Fridge.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the Brixton Illin Rap Clash.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're going to do it. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. We can't go to London.
Yeah. They'll kill us.
And seriously, they will. It's like, we can't go to London and do
Especially at Brixton as well.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And he was like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, we're driving down to London into the first heat.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember absolutely bricking it, like backstage.
12 years old.
Literally, I was 12 years old. Just like, we're the only white kids there, apart from Tim Westwood.
Yeah.
Like, it's full. Fridge. It's massive.
Mad.
We go on stage. Everyone's spitting at us, throwing cans,
really?
throwing
Like that?
beers, like booing us. They're walking away from the stage and shit.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, fuck. Right. But we go into it. We start doing our thing. My brother's beatboxing. I'm rapping. Damien's cutting.
Yeah.
We do our thing. They all turn around and start like whistles going,
back.
foghorns going. Everyone's
nice.
fucking going mad. We win the first heat. We go back. We win the main thing.
Dope. Yeah.
And it's just like,
Come on.
that was a moment.
Cool.
It was a moment of being like, I can't believe we've just done that.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
straight away,
the thing
you
is,
know.
because I don't look the part. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Take
totally
a risk and do that. Do you know what I mean? Jump
Yeah.
off the deep end and like. Yeah.
I mean, a big props to Damien. Big up, Damien. Shorty. For he proper pushed me. Do you know what I mean? It was like the kick up the arse that I needed because I was only a 12-year-old.
How old was Damien at this
Say
point?
16.
Okay, and how old
Yeah.
was your brother? He's
16 as well. Yeah.
So that must have let you know, shit, we're not at a place. We're accepted.
We can do this shit.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
the thing. When I was watching the other acts coming on, I was like, shit, we're better than them.
Yeah.
They're not actually that good.
Yeah.
They look the part.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not really doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we're actually properly doing this. Like,
Yeah,
Damien was a fucking sick. Damien was a DMC DJ. Do you know what I mean? He was entering
that was
battles in
amazing.
DMCs and like almost getting through and shit. And it's like, he could do it.
Yeah.
My brother was a dope beatbox. I knew I could rap. Do you know what I mean? I was like, even though
He
we
was nearly as
didn't
good as me
look,
at
we looked
beatboxing.
stupid. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to wear my shell suits and my fat lace Pumas and stuff, but really
Yeah.
with my little fucking hair going to the side, it's stupid.
I loved it. I remember.
But we had
worked.
the gear to fucking to deliver. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the talent was there, and
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
that's what I mean, and shone through,
Yeah.
which is actually quite a that's a feat, man. Do you know what I mean? Being white kids from Norfolk for a start, so you're not even like ethnically out of place, you're geographically out of place,
Massively,
and then
backwater.
turn up there. Do you know what I mean? And then actually deliver the goods, and then obviously you know, and then eventually be appreciated by people who obviously love hip hop, and that's when you know you're
yeah, and
Do you know what I mean?
the connections kind of came from there. So we started to we got picked up by this dude called Trenton Harrison,
Right.
who was the manager for Rush Management.
Okay.
It was the UK branch of Rush. So Rush Management was like Run DMC, Public Enemy, Cool J.
Okay.
So he was the
UK
branch, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He was at that gig and basically picked us up. And from that, we got support for De La Soul on the 3 Feet High and Rising tour.
Mad.
And he just started taking us to loads of gigs. So we were sort of, anytime we were in London, he's like, right, come and meet Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
And you met Salt and Pepper?
Yeah. And
See, I didn't know about this.
met Third Base and, you know.
Yeah.
But this is the time when, by the way, going back to Mark as
Salt
a
and
dancer.
Pepper and white sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, Mark was a dancer by now as well.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay,
Mark was now, so not your sister, but yeah, Mark
Yeah,
had come in and started dancing for us.
That that Salt and Pepper beat, the track that got them famous.
Push It.
That has lasted the test of time as well. And I've seen other people
Yeah.
other rappers have Dipset done it years
iconic,
later.
isn't
Someone
it?
else done it recently.
Everyone knows it.
That beat, even to this day. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Mad beat.
it's a massively popular tune. It's an anthem for them personally. I never liked it at the time. I still don't really like it.
Because you'd have been
I-
listening to the underground
but
stuff.
I was so hip hop. Do you know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
so
but
underground.
it was the epitome of 80s pop
Yeah.
hip hop.
Oh, and they nailed it. They nailed
then
it.
You must admit, even like, I'm going slightly off path here, but even like, okay, so we loved the golden era of 90s hip hop, and then the noughties hip hop, you know, jiggy fucking stuff, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff was just like, oh, fucking pile that off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then the next decade, we're like, actually, that's
Yeah, you go back.
and
go
you're
back
like,
and
actually,
it's well made.
probably
It's actually a catchy tune
because
and all
it's
that.
better than what we got now as
Well,
well. And then like, oh, that's actually pretty dope. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you can go back and go, oh,
Definitely, I've had to do that with classic albums, but I didn't. Like with Wu-Tang, you was expecting a certain sound. I'd get the new da-da-da-da. I was like, nah, because it weren't sounding like their first album. But then you go back a year later, it's like, this
You're
was.
like, actually,
Do you know what I mean?
I was missing.
I mean, Salt and Pepper's a good one for me because that Push It tune, their album came out, their first album, Hot, Cool and Vicious.
Yeah.
There's a track on there called I Desire, which
Right.
samples Amen Brother, right? The classic drum break that every jungle tune you've ever heard,
yeah, Amen
it
break,
samples that break.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think-
yeah.
I
I've
think
seen
it was
this.
the first tune to sample that drum break,
Right.
and it's raw as fuck.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
straight up hip hop, and that whole album, to be fair, was
what tune?
the first Salt and Pepper album, right?
Right, yeah.
If you look back, you can find that first album, and it's got Push It on it.
Yeah.
But actually, the first issue of that album didn't have Push It on it.
Right.
They made that album, and it was straight up raw hip hop, and it didn't sell that well.
And so they Push
They
It.
then made Push It. It went crazy,
Yeah.
and then they re-released that album with it on.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's
Right, and from then on, Salt and Pepper became this kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
phenomenon that they became.
Yeah.
But their early stuff was just like straight up hip hop, and that's what we were into. Do you know what I mean? Anything that was commercial was like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
We were just straight up for like,
Cool.
I want that raw shit. Do you know what I mean? I want hard. But yeah, it's funny when you grow up. It's like things change, isn't it? And
Yeah,
you
but
start-
and then when you look
start-
back
I
at
mean,
stuff
I-
that you hated, you're like, you end up going, oh, do you know what? And I don't know whether it's like because you just actually love that shit, or it's just like it just
Well,
brings
it's
back
an
that.
age thing, really. I mean,
and it
because
brings, it's nostalgia, isn't it?
Well,
And it-
if I go 4 years later from there, I was really into my swing beat.
Yeah, I know
I was
you-
loving
you
Boys
got
to
me
Men. I
into
like
it.
my
Yeah,
ballads. Do you know what I mean? I was into my Boys to Men,
not
and
just
Jodeci, and
you got me into it.
yeah, there you
If
go.
I
yeah.
was when I was young, if I was working, do you know what I mean? Obviously, when I'm with my mates and when I'm by myself, I'm listening to the hip hop that. But I could then appreciate a commercial track that I would not be listening to.
Yeah.
Because you're at work and the fucking every song on the radio is shit. that
Sure.
Your boss is listening to, but then fucking Nelly comes on or fucking, do you know what I mean? Some other commercial rapper that I don't fuck with, but like.
Be like Jay-Z.
So then you'd just think, well, I'll appreciate the beat if nothing
I'll
else. Do you know
settle
what
for
I
it.
mean?
Yeah, but then.
But
yeah.
so anyway, boom.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
start getting all these gigs. You start supporting different people.
Yeah. So we're playing.
Who else around that time did you support while you're on that?
Boogie Down Productions.
Nice. So who come down
that was
with them?
crazy. So it was KRS-One, Miss Melody, D Nice. You
Nice.
know, and this was in Rayleigh, in Essex.
Mad.
A place called the Pink Toothbrush. And I remember sort of like meeting KRS-One.
The pink toothbrush.
Yeah, it's a random name. Still
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's still there. I think it's still there.
It's still called the Pink
I
Toothbrush.
think it is. I think
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
pretty
love
sure
that.
it's,
I've
I
got
don't
to go.
know.
That's a bucket list thing.
Rayleigh.
Got to go there. Lee, who we
it's
going
mad
there?
though. Like I'm standing backstage. She Rockers had played as well, so we're chilling with She Rockers backstage, smoking spliffs and stuff like that. I'm like 13 now.
Yeah.
And my brother's like it already introduced me to spliffs and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There you go. We were Tony Wiley and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. And yeah, the promoter comes through with KRS. He's like, I'd like you to meet the youngest rapper in the UK. And I'm standing there going, it's fucking KRS-One.
I remember you
Jesus
saying that
Christ.
this massive hand
Huge.
came out for you.
Yeah, massive.
I remember you saying
and
that.
I can't remember exactly what he said because I was too like gobsmacked. But I was just like, this is quite a moment.
Yeah, mad.
You know.
Yeah.
Because obviously it'd probably put out that.
Oh,
all that,
no,
you know
not
what I
yet,
mean?
not yet.
Okay.
No, this is 88, 89. So my philosophy had just is like the first Boogie Down Production album had just come
Yeah.
out, right? But that was definitely an amazing moment, and off the back of that, we then got interviews with record labels like MCA, Polydor, Jive.
Mad.
And eventually, Virgin came a bit later.
okay.
So those three. So we were going around to like these amazing like offices and seeing, like, you know, you're walking through the doors and seeing all the plaques on the wall and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And it's like, you know, I'm 13 years old.
Yeah.
I'm still at Hewitt School. Like, so on the weekends, I'm driving down to London, doing all this shit, and then coming back to Norwich in the week and walking in school and, you know, going.
They've been on the park, on their bikes.
Do you know what I mean?
you've
And
been-
it was random. It was really, looking
Record
back on it,
exec.
as
Lucky
well,
they
it's
didn't
really
take
weird.
you on that, because I'm going to say something controversial, because, like, you know, if you'd have get you 13, you'd become really fucking famous, you might have ended up a paedophile.
That's why we bought him. Do you know what I mean? We needed to. Well, funnily enough, weren't
Actually, as it
weren't
goes,
Jimmy
there has
Savile
been
with the
about-
two turntables?
Yeah, exactly. He was the first person to...
Apparently.
He was, wasn't he? He was the first person to use two turntables.
Apparently so.
Probably the first famous person, maybe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He-
But fuck him anyway.
Yeah,
He
totally.
could. I wouldn't do that, but like, he could juggle like, pretty,
Especially
He
now.
could juggle things really well. Couldn't he? Be like, yeah. Fuck
But
it.
yeah. So
Quickly moving
we
on.
digress. I forgot what we were now.
So right, but
So
No,
we're still talking pedos.
No,
or not?
no, you were talking about the record
So-
labels that were picking you up on Polydor.
You're
and
doing
that-
all these
Okay.
shows.
Yeah.
You're meeting these record labels.
And we get to record extra demos as well. So Jive, they basically said, well, come into our studio, come record some stuff. So we record some more demos, which
Have
we
you
were
still got
really...
those recordings?
Yeah, so there's a track called History that we did. Sampled, do you remember the group My Tai? They did a track called History. History.
Yeah, I remember that tune.
Yeah, we
I
were
did.
cutting that up
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
Anyway, it was like a big chart tune in the 80s or whatever. But it seemed like we were onto something, do you know what I mean? We made something quite catchy, but it's still hardcore.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it's like, I think we've got something.
You got a bit of the. Yeah.
And you know, labels were showing an interest, but it didn't quite work. And then about a year later, we got a bit deflated from it. It's like, oh, fuck, we put all this into it and it's not really working. Damien then bullied his way into getting us a meeting with 10 Records, which was a subsidiary of Virgin.
Right.
And at the time, 10 Records had like Mantronics, Soul to Soul, Joyce Sims, or you know, there was a lot of big name artists that were in the charts at that time. Managed to get us an interview with them.
Yeah.
We went down to London, had the interview. The A&R man was blown away and was like, right, we're going to sign you.
Yeah.
Like, we left. I remember leaving that office, like walking out, going,
Shit.
"What?
Yeah.
We've just signed a deal with Virgin Records."
Had you signed it?
not at that point, but it was just
But you
like
were
that.
going
It was like
imminently.
he'd given us the confirmation. He was just like, we're going to sign you. And it was like, fuck. So we walked out. I mean, so now I'm 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
And I a couple of months later or something, we've now got management, like professional management, and we signed a deal with Virgin for 2 singles for something like 35 grand.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money
15.
back then.
Mad, yeah.
It's crazy. I remember like when the money actually came through.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was still going into school, king of the tuck shop.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean?
King of the tuck shop.
Sweets falling out of every pocket.
Absolutely.
God,
yeah.
have you not had a song called King of the Tuck Shop? Come on. Get that done.
Yeah.
I'm on
But
it. I'll feature
let's
on
do
that.
Let's
King
do
of the
that
Tuck
shit.
Shop.
Let's do that shit. But it's mad. It was just like I'm walking around going, we're actually signed to a major record deal.
Yeah.
We're going in studios recording like all these demos and stuff. And
That's when you
know,
lost your virginity as well, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Because look,
It was a year later. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. No, I'm not
Auntie
talking about
Sue.
that.
the fact that you even got signed to a label, do you know what I mean? Like
Crazy.
that's
Yeah, it was.
That's
And
all
not
about
just
a
a
dream.
label, like a crazy label. Like,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
like,
of course.
It was mad, and we. I remember going into school and had the careers advice interview. You know, you get the
Yeah.
When, just
What do you
before
wanna be,
just before-
yeah.
What are you going to do when you leave school? You're leaving in a few months. What are you going to do?
I'm going to be a rapper.
I literally said, I've just signed a major record deal.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
By the way,
that's
do you want 20
arrogance-
quid?
the
Get away from
arrogance
me.
and
I don't
the-
need
the-
to know what the capital of Uzbekistan is.
Do
Because
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I was.
Can
so,
you remember
I was
his
so
response to that?
arrogant and so kind of like.
Well, you would be. You're that
Yeah,
young, and
I'm
you're like,
15.
boom, this is going to happen.
Naive, do you know what I mean? And just so kind of like, I'm sold to this. This is happening.
So how did it all pan out after that then? With Virgin
So
and
yeah,
stuff?
we recorded 2 singles. We did
History,
we
right?
did 5. We did 5 tracks in total. 2 of which was meant to be the first single. I did this tune called My Desire, featuring Glenn Curtis.
No.
Big up GC, Glenn Curtis.
GC, there you go.
And Africa on vocals. Remember Africa?
Yeah, I remember her, yeah.
Big up Africa.
Gomez.
Yeah. So she was singing on it. Beautiful. It was quite a poppy sort of hip hop tune. So you know, we had sort of like tried to sell it, but we still kept it quite raw.
Yeah.
Anyway, the label came back after we gave them the demo or the finished version. They were like, yeah, it's not quite what we're after.
Right.
So they brought in this guy from a group called Phase One, Steps. I don't remember Phase One, old UK hip hop crew. He was now like a house producer. He came in and started putting a 4/4 beat over it, making it all a bit housey and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there
Like
going,
Luck of Lucian type
like,
sort of.
oh, that was just
You know
like,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
hip house,
that
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 sort of-
version,
yeah.
yeah. So that kind of tip, and we're sitting there going, no. Now the good thing was our management had actually put it in the contract that we had complete rights over our music, and that 10 couldn't tell us how to make. It was like that was one thing we were properly important thing is here. We're making our music, you're not.
Yeah.
This is us.
Yeah.
You've signed us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you said we're not down for that.
No, not down for it, and it's just like it sounds rubbish. You put a housey beat over it. We're a hip hop crew. We're not making house music. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so we sent him away. Then they got someone else to try and come in. Hold on, what happened? Oh yeah, that's it. Then we worked with No Sleep Nigel.
Right,
No Sleep Nigel's like UK hip hop legend, hero. He's the engineer supreme that worked with Hijack, Blade, Demon Boys, Cardinal, everyone, London Posse, boom, the works, right? So we had Nigel worked on the tunes. We reworked them, and he made like a swing beat mix. Yeah, so like New Jack Swing version.
Yeah.
And they were kind of happy with that. Apparently, it then went to press, and they had like an acetate cut.
Right.
But it never got beyond the acetate point. So it didn't actually get a final pressing. It just had the acetate. They took it to the studio. Do you know what I mean? Did the acetate.
Yeah.
So somewhere, someone's got a copy of the acetate of that record. Don't know where it is.
So the singles didn't get pushed,
Didn't get pressed at all.
but you did get your paper.
We got paid,
yeah.
and the management somehow sorted out. I mean, again, I was 15 at the time, so this is all happening when I'm still
And all the
a
business
youngin',
side of it's like, brrr.
exactly. I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on with all this.
Yeah.
But somehow we didn't have to pay anything back. We got out of the contract.
Yeah.
And then what happened was the music that we had, I don't think was legally ours. I don't know. But anyway, we went to Paul at Soundcrash Records. Big up Paul.
Yeah,
Paul Mills, Planet Mills.
all day.
Had a chat with him about releasing an EP. And he put out this 4-track EP called The Master Blaster.
Master Blaster.
Yeah, oh no, that's the next one. But the first EP was called
okay. Master
Master Blaster, but yeah, it's
Okay.
confusing because that's on the later one.
No, it is
So the
confusing,
4
it's
tracks was three of the tunes from the Virgin Records deal.
Right.
So Addiction to Rhyme, Good Deed Done, and Cold Spell, which were meant for Virgin, we actually released on Soundclash Records.
Nice.
And then we added a new tune called Rappers at All, which featured Anthropologist for the first time. So he turns up. Yeah.
Just quickly,
He flew in on a northwesterly wind, did he?
It was something like that. Yeah.
No, he did. It wasn't. That wasn't actually.
no.
where is all this music, by the way? Is it on is it like just on YouTube or is it everywhere?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so that the Master Blaster EP was a 500 press, so quite a small amount.
Yeah.
For the time, I mean, this was '91, so it's very much in the rave era, the hardcore era. You know, a lot of like white labels being released, and 500 to 1,000 press was kind of the thing. They sold out really.
A handwritten sort of thing.
It's got the Soundcrash label on one side, and then it's a stamp on the other. So it's a white label with a stamp.
Yeah.
And it's quite an expensive record now. So if you want to buy it, have you? Yeah.
so.
I think it's about 150 quid.
Is it?
I'm it's like if you got a Discogs or
I'm
Discogs.
done with it.
Sell it, man. Get rid of
Yeah,
it. You
man,
don't need
sell
that
it.
shit.
Shouldn't have told him that because that'll be fucking on eBay next week.
I'll just be like
Absolutely.
3 for a 1, huh?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it. Yeah, you don't need that shit. But anyway, it's so yeah, they're all on YouTube, but you can't get them on Spotify or anything. We've never put them up.
Yeah, but they're somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like our first introduction to the world, if you like. Do you know what I mean? So we actually put out.
Right, so you're signed to Soundclash at this point then.
Not signed as such, we're just kind of in conjunction with. And,
Right, so you did
So
their.
who pressed them?
Well, Soundclash. Paul went and got them pressed, but I don't know who he used or whatever, any of that. But do you know what I mean? He was fully supporting what we were about. You know what I mean? And I give him so much props for being there and helping out with all that, 'cause it was wicked what he did.
Because you mentioned rave and stuff like that, I'd just like to touch on that, because that must have been like, because rave took over this country, didn't it? And that was like, so the fact you're making hip hop.
Yeah, so that was the period when it happened as well. So like from the late 80s, a lot of people that we were sort of hanging out with made the transition from hip hop to
rave,
to hardcore and rave, right? We kind of didn't.
You stayed. Your roots and stayed there.
Yeah, we sort of just stuck with the whole hip hop.
I think almost luckily later, if I can say this, like later, so everyone went into like rave music course because loads of drugs, you go end up in a field somewhere and you like. Do you know what I mean? I understand that, and do you know what I mean, there's that energy to that, and let's give props to that. That genre and that sort of movement. Some of my, just to throw it out there, some of my best gigs, some of my best received gigs have been to those people.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, they love that
party,
but they love to party. Do you know what I mean? And whereas
hip hop crowds,
they're quite
Oh,
do you know what I mean? So let me say it. Sorry, hip hop crowds out there, but like they're quite judgmental. They're like standing there going,
100%.
You better be good, bro. And they got this bravado going on, and then you go and you play a place where there's like reggae and there's like
everything,
and there's rave but they used to love their hip hop,
especially back then. Yeah, especially back then, it was raw.
Yeah,
I mean it still is to a degree now, but like back then it was hardcore.
Yeah,
if you weren't rapping, they'd let you know. Do you know what I mean? You're gone.
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah. You ain't getting no love at all.
But when you do that thing, they're jumping up and down, going nuts. I mean, like literally. But and I mean, like you wouldn't. You get that with hip hop class, of course you would. But
Some of them older ravers would surprise, like older boys in my neighbourhood. Do you know what I mean? Would surprise me. 'Cause I'm thinking they're raver people. Do you know what I mean? But then they'd have their hip hop vibe.
Of course, yeah.
They're not listening to rave all the time. Do you know what I mean? They come out, you know, they had the like,
you
got grave diggers and fucking
yeah.
But you got to come down to something, haven't you?
So yeah, you stayed true to hip hop. Do you know what I mean? During that time, when you was coming up, so like through the what other UK hip hop artists were in the circuit at the same time?
So when we first came out, as in our first emergence with vinyl as Deftex 91, I mean, the scene had kind of died off a little bit, because the scene, what we were, you know, the music we were making was very much a late 80s thing. It was like the Hijack days, Demon Boys, Gunshot. Yeah. You know, and they were all still carrying on, but a lot of that initial scene of what we were a part of, it kind of like, they'd all gone.
Right.
So who was left? I suppose Demon Boys were still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and very well. Like,
what
so
year are we talking about
like
here?
91, 92. So Glimity Glamity's coming out, right? And like, they're killing it. London Posse are very much a thing, and you know, How's Life in London, and MC Mallow is still about, and so there are still like names, but even though, I mean, the biggest of that lot was London Posse.
Yeah.
How's Life in London,
which is Rodney P and
Bionic, right? And they managed to get it on Yo MTV in New York, and massive, but it's still not big. Yeah, like it doesn't sell. So the UK hip hop scene at this point, what had been big, because I'm talking, so go back to the late 80s, you're talking Derek B in the charts and Cookie Crew in the charts and Betty Boo doing the do. I'm not saying it. Do you know what I mean? She's off the back of that scene. Do you know what I mean? That's massive. Was
she English?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
so this is massive. Do you know what I mean? They're getting into top 10. They're big. Like, it's not exactly the music that I was into, but they're part of that culture. They're part of that scene, and they're representing what we were doing. Yeah. By 91, 92, 93, all that's gone. Yeah. And there's no one UK hip hop really doing anything. So it's really gone properly underground now. Yeah. And you know, that's kind of where we were.
And some beautiful music came out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it went that way.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. But
when I started rapping.
Yeah, it was around that time,
Around that time, 93, 94.
Yeah, that's right.
So how did you two link then?
So
we've known each other a long time, but
very long time. So like, you know, we lived like, you know, 3-minute walk from each other, didn't we? Like for a while, and so, but I didn't know crime when I was younger.
I did.
You knew.
I knew. No, I knew you. Yeah. I knew you. No, I knew you when you were younger, but you didn't really know me. But I remember coming around your house when you were like 9.
Yeah.
When you lived on near the Trafford, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, I lived on Long John Hill.
Yeah.
And my bedroom was next door to this girl called Kerry, who was friends with Sam, his sister, right? So I'm like, this is when I'm 10.
Okay.
So we're going back there, but I remember seeing you and your brother messing about in the field at the back of our house. Remember there was like a hill at the back, and there was a rope swing. I think
back of Cavill Road, and there was like,
I think
we used to find
Pete ended up in our garden.
Just to throw it out there, multiple times I found cats hung by their collars.
Yeah,
fucking hell, mate. Lakeland was weird then.
It was rough.
But hung by their collars
on
a stick, on a twig, a branch off the tree, like 9 times.
Yeah,
crazy.
Another dead cat.
Well, I hope that they got the help that they fucking needed.
Well, yeah,
pricks. But so anyway, so you've seen him playing in the field,
sorry,
hanging cats and doing all
come on, look.
So I get me and my brother become friendly with Sam, and Sam then basically introduces us to Pete. And
hang on, what was I doing in the field?
So you were just
hanging cats.
I remember seeing you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Blatantly, I remember seeing you and your brother just messing about up the back garden, and I remember Sam going, "That's my brother's," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we went round yours, a couple of weeks later, and I remember seeing your bedroom at the back.
Yeah.
Right, and I knew you were
With
there.
the red light and the
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And anyway, but it wasn't for a lot later that we actually really met, which was probably that party that we've talked about a few times, right?
Yeah. So it's not about me, obviously, is it? But crime, you got me into rapping. It's a weird fucking thing, really. Because I was just like, I was just me. I was just like bubbling about, And black music, obviously, if we can call it that, like, it was always a big part of my life. Because I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. My sister, my brother. And, do you know what I mean? Blah blah blah.
Sam was mad into
Sam
it.
was mad into it, and she, I mean, even like she used to like sort of subject me to like 5-star and
but she was really into hip hop and stuff as well.
really
like,
into hip hop and soul and swing and everything. So I got into so that I was very very much influenced by and Prince and do you know what I mean? I'm very influenced by that music. And then I went to a party. I was old enough to go to a party. Don't worry, I was old enough to go to a party, and it was down Pottergate.
Yeah.
And this man's there rapping on a table, I think, which we
They had
also
a massive
did.
sound. It was like Lynx's Danger Zone sound
Yeah,
system on it. So it's proper sound system in a flat.
Yeah,
Man.
in a
And it was
flat.
banging.
And there's loads of
yeah.
people
Big
everywhere.
reggae sound system.
All on the street in the flat and
Nice.
everything. It was a good party.
Late nights and,
And,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and there's this guy. Were you with anyone else? I don't know.
I was with Damien and Wayne and stuff.
yeah,
So
but he
we-
weren't rapping with anyone else. So it's just you,
No.
wasn't it?
I think Damien was DJing, right? So he was just like, "Do you want to get on the mic?" I was like, "Yeah."
I'm pretty sure you were on a coffee table or something anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and I just remember being there, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. I was just looking. I was like, I know, because I knew you obviously, and I was like, I know that guy. And then I was just like, fuck, man, that's fucking sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And that was it. It just clicked. I want to do that. I bet I can do that. And then I went home. I tried to do that and I couldn't do that.
Well,
But then
I actually have a memory of that night of me and you sitting out on the stairs, on the stairway,
Yeah.
outside, actually having that conversation.
Oh, really?
And yeah, it just pinged to me then. I was like, I clearly remember sitting there and you saying, "I want to rap." I think
I think that did happen. No, I think I
totally remember that happening.
So yeah, sorry for all my music.
But
This
from
comes
that,
to one.
from that, I think a few weeks later, did you move to London at that point?
No, it was a little bit later. No, it
But
wasn't,
so when
it wasn't at that
that's
point,
that's
but-
when it really started. Is you moved to London?
I rang you
and
every fucking
this
week.
dude, right? He used to phone me up, like I'd be like sitting at home with a spliff or we'd just done a bucket or something like that, and I'd get a phone call from him on the landline going, "I've just written a verse. Do you want to hear it? I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, right. And he'd just run these verses off like boom, boom.
I still do it. I still do it to people now.
Brilliant, good lad.
Oi, guess
like
what? I've done this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that sounds really sad, boy. You all right? No, that's just the thing I want at the minute. It's sick, innit? And they're like, yeah, no, it's really beautifully written, but oh man. Up your meds.
Sometimes it is just that feeling of sharing it with one other person, though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's not all about studios and everything.
and it's-
Sometimes it is just kicking it with your mate. Like,
Yeah,
boom.
man, and just like, oh, guess what? I did this. I really need to share it with someone, and like, and the whole thing of like,
It was a lovely thing though, and the thing is, because there was no other rappers in Norwich apart from Mark, who was killing it. To be fair, at this point, Mark's like writing. So this is like what we're saying, 94.
yeah,
Yeah,
93, 94.
yeah. So Mark and then Ransom, right? So that was
Yeah.
And there was a few other rappers dotted about, but Norwich didn't have a rap scene at this point. Still, not really. Joe phoned me up, and I was immediately like, I used to get excited because I'd be like, shit, he can properly fucking rap. This dude can properly fucking rhyme.
Yeah.
About fucking time we had someone like into the fold. That's
quite
decent.
clearly you can hear
So I
that
was just
from
like
that
full
song.
of like enthusiasm, like, yeah, man, keep fucking doing it. And eventually you moved back up and started coming around the freestyle sessions, and then it was like
Playing football first.
That was it.
Football first, wasn't it?
Football.
And then
Back home, bucket,
and then with it.
freestyle.
No, it wasn't the bucket. It was the
Drainers.
No, it's the Cyclops.
Oh,
Remember
the
that
Master
clay? Yeah, the
Blaster.
master. Yeah, the Master Blaster. Again, there we
That's
go.
what it was.
There
It
was
was
a
like the
fucking
Hubbly.
bucket. There was a bucket in that house.
Yeah.
There was something living in it. I'm not kidding. There wasn't there? We saw it multiple times.
We didn't change
There
that
was
water.
bucket
for a
water,
long time.
which was rank, yeah.
And there
Like,
was-
and the thing was just
Yeah, you
and
can
there was,
have
and then
full of
something
bacteria
went, something went. Whoop, 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 whoop. I swear later on, honestly, it was like a weird tadpole. I reckon.
followed me ever since.
And I reckon after a while we stopped hanging out there. I reckon one of them went out there and got someone, and just face hugged them. That was it wasn't.
That's why there was a never no
Come
rap
on.
scene, because that thing
they all
used to
got
fall
face hugged.
to the-
That was a fucking tadpole in there. That was massive.
Yeah.
There was some living thing in that bucket of water.
It was pretty grim.
Yeah.
But,
So-
or was it that we were so high that we were seeing?
Nah,
shit, you know.
nah. I don't believe in collective hallucinations. That
You're
I
right.
saw it splash the water and went. And like, as it went on.
Yeah.
So you two started kicking it, and then
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
it together. How did things keep going on track? How did things then
It
progress?
was religious, wasn't it? Every weekend.
Yeah, every week, freestyles every week. Well, whenever we could, really, but it was every weekend. Definitely on a
Religiously on a
Sunday,
Sunday, yeah.
we'd just rhyme and tape. Hit record, tape. I've still got all the tapes.
Oh,
Nice.
Loads and loads of these freestyle tapes. I've got
I
them.
don't know, but never mind. I'd love to listen to some of that shit.
That's
Remember?
true, but
That was my thing when I was like, I couldn't
Yeah.
think of a bar, right? So I'd be rapping, and then I couldn't think of a bar to come in, and because it was like an era of like rapping quick. and-
Freestyle, yeah.
Yeah, but it was rapping quick. It wasn't just like
Yeah,
loosely freestyle.
When I'm on the microphone, I'll be hitting it with the hypertone. Everybody rocking to the beat,
Yeah.
and I'll be leaving it alone. That's sick of the phone.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We go as quick as we can, as intricate patterns as we can.
Yeah.
And then when I couldn't work out quite what to say because my fucking brain's not quite
Never
caught
mind,
up with my
anyway,
mouth,
fuck it.
I'd be like, I don't know, but never mind. And that's what I did. That
It's
was my
just that instant sort of. I can rely on that.
yeah.
Just to
'cause
fill
I
in the
don't know
gap.
whenever man is right. There's all these. There's lots of little
It's funny,
syllables in it.
freestyles these days is especially like your battle rap scene, because it's I suppose there's a lot of it because they're not rapping
Off
on
the
beats.
top of the right.
Poetry as well.
It's spoken word. More.
Yeah, yeah.
There's more time to actually really think about like what you're filling in. But back then, we're rapping on beats at 110 BPM.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Which is mad, yeah.
You know?
Because now it's like, I'll kick you in the head.
Yeah.
Did
what
you
I
hear what I said?
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
You fought for
Your cat just pissed. I'm gonna go flip your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like fucking.
You ain't got time for that shit. So it's
No.
like, I'll be the lyrical, miracle, cynical, miracle, magical, couple.
yeah,
Constantly.
man.
And but fuck, we got that shit down, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was
there was a point
there
when
was
we
magical
were
moments.
peaking. We were peaking. I mean, like, you came to the No Room, the freestyle thing in London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, some of those moments are just like fucking hell. Rappers. We had this thing with Disorder. Big up Disorder. Big up Pete.
Big up them.
Suspect Packages.
No room freestyles, yeah.
So the No Room freestyles in London, we ended up linking up with a few MCs from around the country. So there's a crew from Bristol called Undivided Attention,
Right.
and they had a few MCs which were
Scout leader
sick.
Seed and like Spy.
And
He wrote a whole
Majesta.
song about a fucking spider he didn't want to kill. Do you remember?
Amazing.
Like just fucking come on. Look, sort of shit you do.
It's
Do you know
just
what I mean?
nuts.
Just like, oh, I don't my wall. Do you know what I mean? Just like that kind of, yeah.
Amazing. And there was this guy called Stepchild that turned up on the scene. It was just like, oh my God, where the fuck have you been? You're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just stumble upon these new MCs. And so with that, it was like upping us
Yeah.
again. So we thought we were at a level, and then we meet these guys. It's like shit. They're
Yeah.
fucking. They're like
But it's just
up there.
weird.
So it kind of like made us all just like push up a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Up your game a bit.
Yeah.
They were quite left field as well, and
Yeah,
we were
exactly.
quite we were quite sort of left field.
Yeah,
you know,
so we had that. We had a similar kind of like
Stance on
middle
it.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favourite gig you've ever done?
That's a
Not
fucking
the
hard
most
question.
people, or just like the one that you're like,
The
do you know what I mean?
memory. Yeah.
Because I would like to quickly add, while you're thinking about that, big up for getting me involved with the De La Soul. Do you know what I mean? That was a massive moment for me.
Thank
so
you
big
very
up,
much.
you know.
Oh, you did your thing, man. That was
Yeah,
wicked.
I missed that
something
call. I missed that call. I didn't ask.
Is there one that you
You had a
really
few.
think, yeah, do you know what I mean? It could have been a house party. Just whatever.
Yeah. I think the gig supporting Public Enemy at the UEA is quite a moment.
I can imagine. What year was that?
So this was me and Bill.
Yeah.
Did we not support?
Well, actually, I
Public
did.
Enemy,
Did him twice. We did it twice because we supported Public Enemy as
Hackney
Deftex.
Marshes?
Right.
Oh no, we
not
did.
Hackney
Hackney Marshes was the Essential Festival, right? Yeah, that was a good one. No,
That was with Public Enemy, wasn't it?
they played, but on a different stage.
Oh,
so this
okay.
was a different thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but Master Race Watch does it that gig. You know that?
Yeah.
So the Public Enemy one with Deftex was good, but when I did it with Bill,
Yeah.
I just feel like it was. I've got really good memories of that gig, and
Yeah.
I know that like we both came off stage going, I think we pretty much nailed that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we made any mistakes, and that's
Nice.
quite a rare thing. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
When you can actually come off stage and go, yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah, dope.
That was dope. Failing that, the gig that I felt most, I was quite pissed, but I still nailed it. I feel was the Deadbeat. You were there for that one, right?
Yeah.
The at Hemsby.
Yeah.
The night when Ty played, and Ty killed it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
time,
he
yeah.
did, yeah,
Rest in peace,
absolutely.
Ty.
Yeah, rest in peace.
But yeah, Deftex at Deadbeat was actually that is my favourite.
They
Yeah,
were-
nice.
we
That was
took
amazing.
I think we took that for granted. There was just like, so it's like
You just do these
Did you
things,
ever
right?
go to Deadbeat? It was like
No.
oh mate, it was like the
4
weirdest
years
thing.
running.
But 4
Right,
years
that was
running,
in
but it,
Hemsby, yeah?
yeah,
2 years in Yarmouth, 2 years in Hemsby.
Right.
but it wasn't a normal fucking scenario. Sorry, I don't
Yeah,
mean to
it's
make-
okay,
but
it's okay.
It's like a Pontins.
Yeah.
It's holiday.
So there's all
site,
these
yeah.
little chalets, like you know,
yeah.
and all these apartments, right? And
Parties
you go in there,
popping off.
and you go in there, and you got like, and they set out like a few magazines for you.
Nice.
Hip hop magazines,
Yeah.
right? Not
Hip Hop
one-
Connection.
There was a Fiesta
are
or an
hip-hop
Escort
magazines
in their
available.
phone, but then they
It's like 50
yeah, but
plus.
they even put like king skins, didn't they, and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like that
yeah.
in there, right? And
a
there's all
40.
these little. And a 40, yeah, and there's all these little bits about. I think me and Tom played one year, didn't we? And Percy
Yeah,
P.
yeah, in
and
the,
Percy
in the
P
bar.
watched us.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
was like, oh, and he was going nuts after us. Like, so that was fucking cool because Percy P's fucking sick. You know what I mean? Like, so that was crazy. And then who did we have upstairs? We were playing a dance set player, like playing something.
So
and he was like, oh,
you
right,
got
tell
just
it.
right. So do you know much about the Deadbeat Weekenders?
No. I don't
Okay,
know nothing
right.
about
So
them.
let me just run a list of who played in
Right.
Great Yarmouth and Hemsby, right?
Yeah.
So Big Daddy Kane,
Mad.
Brad Nubian,
Mad.
Bismarcky,
Mad.
Dougie Fresh.
Mad.
I mean, where
That's
else did
nuts.
we go?
Oh, shit,
Edon,
Edon,
Mr.
that's-
Liff, LP, like
Yeah, Percy P.
Percy P,
So-
fucking.
Everyone.
I mean, Gwen McRae played, for fuck's sake. Gwen McRae was
Yeah.
amazing.
Who's
Yeah.
LP? Large Professor.
Roots Maneuver.
LP.
LP is like out of Run the Jewels.
Right,
One of
okay.
the LP's the
Like-
white guy. in
right,
One of the
yeah,
Jewels,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
he was in what was it? Fun Crusher Plus. What was his?
yeah, Def Jux was the label,
No,
right?
what was the band name?
Run the Jewels.
No, it wasn't then. No. it
Oh,
wasn't.
you Company Flow, you mean?
Company Flow.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah.
I get the same. I do the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Company Flow. Yeah.
But it was mad. Like 4 years, and big up Sam who put Deadbeat on.
Oh,
Sam, what a fucking legend that guy is.
Yeah.
But every single year, it was just like an onslaught of like hip hop, and you know they
I
just
collapsed
had
at
these.
one of them.
I think is it the fucking Chinese New Year? I just saw a fucking Chinese lantern come up out the window.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah,
I wonder
yeah.
what you were looking at. Yeah. But these gigs were just
Yeah.
incredible, and so like essential for the scene in Norwich at the time
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
People came from not just the UK but from Europe for these gigs.
Wow, yeah, I
on
bet.
our doorstep.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And
crazy.
Sam made sure that he had us
Yeah, dope.
and people in the scene connected.
Support on, yeah, big up to
connected
him.
to the
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
festival. He
Yeah,
made
yeah.
sure of that.
Yeah,
he was
dope.
like, I'm not just putting this on because I'm like a scenester and I want to make sure I represent for
Yeah,
the people.
yeah.
So we all got gigs. We all got DJ sets. We all got like me and Mark. I think did you host or was it just
Yeah,
me and Mark?
I hosted.
Yeah, you were hosting as well.
Yeah. And,
Do you know what I mean? We all got involved and like it was just like it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
It
that's
was, and we took it for granted. I think. We
yeah,
thought this
definitely.
was going to go on forever, and
Yeah.
it was just such an era. You know?
It
Like,
just
was
it was a quick sort of thing that just
so.
happened,
Did you
came
get
and
to
went.
kick it with all them names that you mentioned?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we in our chalet we had one of the parties one night we had Danger Mouse with Gemini the Gifted One,
yeah,
Prince Poetry from Organised Confusion.
yeah.
Who else was there? Edon was there,
Edon
wasn't
was there, yeah. In the fucking this little chalet.
Stace pulled the joke on Edon, didn't he?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Edon sort of like, oh, I'm off now. It's like, all right, mate. Started walking away by himself, halfway down the pavement. Edon, mate, you got something on the back of your shoe. And he lifts his shoe up. And he goes,
Hello.
hello, sailor.
I just imagine Biz Marquee on the 2P machines. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, man, yeah, all
no, that
all
wasn't like that. It was like a little complex, like a Heidi High campus. You
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah,
It
of
was like
course.
that. So, and I remember, do you remember Dawn, who used to run
Yeah.
Big up Dawn.
Big up
time.
Dawn.
Yeah,
Oh.
big up Dawn. And your brother, I was in a Cadillac, or a convertible, I think it was a Cadillac, driving around the complex, right, just slowly, sniffing lines, smoking a spliff. Do you know what I mean? Like
Living
in
the
this
celeb
fucking
life.
in this like fucking pink car and shit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. And I swear we just thought that that's what life was going to be like from now.
Yeah.
And then
And then it didn't happen.
it just cut short. didn't
But
it?
and the thing is, because the main venue at Pontins,
Yeah.
That's when
it's
it was.
2,000, maybe more capacity venue.
Right.
Big stage, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Massive. It's like UEA size.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a sausage fest either. I know.
No, exactly. It was a real mix.
It was
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
loads
You're
of
right.
people
I
there.
think because there was a lot of electronics, so people like Aphex Twin played and Square Pusher, and there was big name electric. They had 3 rooms on the go, and
Yeah.
it was like, so they catered for lots of different genres, which was cool.
Yeah.
And because of that, you had a good mix of
Yeah, loads of
like
different people,
a
yeah.
good mix of people and
Yeah, yeah.
ages, right? But that's the mad thing. When we went on stage, it was like it was a sold out event, I feel.
Full on.
And it was a full fucking crowd.
Full
I remember
on.
walking on stage going, this is nuts.
I was nervous. I think,
yeah,
when I
yeah,
played
yeah,
that, I
this
was
is
like,
crazy.
fuck, this
Just
is
It's
Yeah,
hard to
everyone.
explain that to some people. Do you know what I mean? When you talk about what music's done for your life,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
It's like, because some people was like, oh, did you get paid? Then it's not all about that.
Not
is it?
that,
Do you know what I
I
mean?
got paid there. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, you got paid like
Like,
Money wasn't a thing. It was just like, this is a moment that it's gonna live with me
course.
forever. Yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
you listen to meet them and to get props from them, like
Yeah.
I don't
how
even
you
remember.
could, you know what I mean?
Getting
Well, the
paid for
mad
that.
thing
I didn't
is,
care, like, it was just like
Because last year, this year or last year, I did a tune with Prince Poetry, right?
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah, did you not know about that?
No.
Yeah, so I did a tune with Prince Poetry and actually met him, did a gig with him, and talked about that moment. And he was like, "I remember that.
No way.
I remember that." And I
No
was
way.
like, "Shit, yeah." So
I'm doing a tune at the moment with Farrah Munch.
wicked, yeah, nice. Yeah, of course you are.
Yes, I'm not. That's his fucking hero.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
So just fucking, I'm not. I'm
fell
just
for it, so it's
fucking.
like, fuck
I'm
off.
just.
Because these things, you can make these things happen now.
I know you can. I know you can.
You know
But
what I mean?
if I'd done a tune with Farrah Munch and Chrome found out about it, he'd be like, "That's fucking,
not
that's
fair."
fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah.
It's not
I
fair.
hope it does well.
I'm getting more graphic than the Neo Jubilant. I would fucking. Come on.
It's too much. It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to quickly break it up, and I'm just going to quickly ask you 21 quick fire questions.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
I like to do that. Just boom. Tea or coffee?
Tea. Oh well. Oh.
Nah. That's
tea. Damn.
Rakim or Big Daddy Kane?
Rakim.
Marvin Gaye or Al Green?
Marvin.
Fuck you.
Pete Rock or DJ Premier?
Pete.
Rodney P or Skinny Man?
Fuck off. Oh, that's a really hard one. Rodney P.
Whiskey or brandy?
Whiskey.
Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Beatles.
Stormzy or Skepta?
Stormzy.
Ray Charles or Little Richard?
Little Rich, doesn't he live with Shorty?
Ray Charles. Ray Charles.
Pizza or kebab?
Kebab. Always.
Foxy Brown or Little Kim?
Oh, fuck 'em.
Fuck, which one would you fuck? Well, fuck them both.
Don't care. Foxy Brown.
All right, salt or pepper? No, I'm joking.
Salt.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas.
Run DMC or Beastie Boys?
Run DMC.
Slick Rick or Snoop Dogg?
Slick Rick.
Rick, wouldn't they?
Wu-Tang or A Tribe Called
You
Quest?
say that, but Snoop's fucking dope. Sorry, what was that? Wu-Tang got a Tribe. Fucking, they're my favourite band.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't support. LL Cool J or Eminem?
Cool J.
Funk Master Flex or Kid Capri?
Kid Capri. It's the kid!
There you go. When you heard that, you knew, innit? Cheese and onion or salt and vinegar?
Cheese and onion.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't
David
even know
Bowie.
who you are at this point.
David Bowie or Elton John?
David
Say-
Bowie, I think.
Thank
Yeah.
fucking God, I do know who you
Yeah.
are.
Earth, Wind and Fire or Kool and the Gang?
Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah,
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
I knew you was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
want me
I
to
always
say
like to
Tupac?
throw it
Yeah,
in
but
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
I know
that's
you
one thing
do.
I noticed actually kind of on social media. I don't know if you specifically, but definitely just one. I've seen definitely people within your crew weren't really feeling Tupac.
It's not right. The mad thing is, right? I remember buying the 12 because I listened to Digital Underground's tune, same song.
All around the world,
same song. Yo, I clown around when I hang around with the underground, right?
Yeah.
Killer verse, fucking dope. And I was like, wow, who's this rapper?
Like
He's
this
fucking
guy,
dope.
yeah.
He's fucking dope. And that was on Radio 1.
Okay.
Jeff Young played it. I went in, I think it was Bax Records at the time, went in, bought the 12 the next day.
Yeah.
Loved it. I was expecting like really big things from Tupac.
Yeah.
And then the single came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. It's kind of on that Digital Underground tip. And then
Yeah.
the album came out, and I was like,
What was his first single?
I'll Get Around, innit?
I get around. So
And then
so he put that out before Tupacalypse Now? Tupacalypse Now, sorry?
what's the first album called?
Tupacalypse Now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the 12 came out first, the single.
'Cause that first album was
and then
very-
Brenda's
Got a Baby.
Baby, right? And it was just like...
Brenda's got a baby.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if one of us put out Brenda's got a baby?
I remember sort of hearing it and going, oh, that's not doing it. It's just not doing it.
Yeah.
It didn't click with me.
Didn't resonate with you, yeah.
Didn't click. And then everything after that he put out, I just felt was like, it's not really... And
do you
you
think
got
of
to
it
remember,
now,
for me, I've grown up with hip hop mainly from New York.
Yeah.
Remember, my first thing that got me into hip hop was Sucker MCs.
Yeah.
That is like the staple. This New York hip hop sound.
Yeah. Because was he from New York, or did he just live there for a
Tupac
while?
came from he's
He was
from
born in-
It was Brooklyn, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then moved out.
Yeah.
But going back, I mean, the sound that I really found just grabbed me was that New York hip hop,
Yeah.
hardcore,
Like, yeah,
banging hip hop sound.
Yeah.
And Tupac wasn't delivering
Yeah.
that.
But
I know he did on a few tracks, but
Yeah.
in general, and I'm not taking anything away from Tupac as an MC, because he was clearly a fucking gifted MC
Yeah.
and a hell of a poet.
Yeah.
But he's not that. He's not the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's not on the level of
For
like
you.
what Rakim could do, or what Cool G
Yeah.
Rap could do, or definitely what Pharrell
Tupac
Munch can do.
is my favourite,
Yeah, and I get that.
but not because he's the best rapper, obviously.
Sure,
Do you know what I
it's a
mean?
connection thing.
It was the time in my life when I started listening to him.
The
do you know what I mean?
poetry, right? And-
Yeah, it was everything. Do you know what I mean?
I think sometimes when I think of Tupac, right? So I was on I was on the same camp as Crime, yeah. Like it was big over Tupac. It was New York, but then we like Freestyle Fellowship and all of that, which had a massive impact on our.
So it wasn't an East versus West thing.
No,
it was
no.
a sound thing.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
feel.
but then when I look back at Tupac now, I'm like, actually,
Oh, yeah,
way
definitely.
doper than I thought he was when I
Yeah.
was younger, and like, and
Yeah.
this thing, and some of the things that he said, like off mic, I'm like, this guy's like
Yeah. I mean,
genius. This guy's like
he was. It was. It was.
mate, you need to listen to.
It was
this.
heavily Black Panther influenced when he first came out, and then he turned into a gangster, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he was
Well, it
famous.
was
Frank
the-
Sinatra sort of
Exactly that. It was the whole kind of hype that actually made him go, do you know what? I've got to become this character more
yeah.
to
Didn't he
make
do,
everything
didn't he do
so
like
much bigger.
ballet and
'Cause
like
he's got-
women's fucking? Do you know what I mean? Like whatever, but like I think just his insight into the way society runs was like just so up there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he
It's not a
pinned
question
that
of whether
shit
he
down.
was the best rapper, because we know he's not the best rapper.
No.
It's the fact that he could resonate to a
He-
teenage boy from Norwich,
Worldwide.
people from Africa,
Worldwide.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, that was
So, and actually, similar to you, I've gone back and listened to the albums.
yeah,
A lot of the production choices, I feel, don't really do anything for me.
yeah.
But lyrically, my God, he was amazing. Like, he can rap. He could
Yeah,
properly
yeah.
rap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
he
I
could
didn't have
rap.
any qualms with that. It was just a lot of the beats
just-
weren't
yeah, but
doing it.
sometimes
The stuff
it's
that he
like-
did with Easy Mo B, I thought was pretty dope. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It's like there's a lot of rappers out there though that I listen to and I'm like, oh, do you know what? I don't really actually I don't think this doesn't do anything for me. But as a wordsmith myself, I'm like, there's something about you. You're killing that. And I hope that loads of people love that. But it's not for me. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get back to you, though, Crom. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, big up all of them lot, all the legends. No, you don't have to apologise, but I'm just so boom. So what's been going on? Because obviously you had this mad run with Def Text. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You obviously do a lot of stuff on your own nowadays. Do you know what I mean? You've put out a crazy amount of albums. The work rate is crazy. Singles, albums. Who's the guy that you done that track Shockwave with?
So Andy Cooper.
Yeah,
out of Ugly Duckling, and now the Allergies.
Right, that's what he was out of Ugly Duckling. Yeah.
So a little samba. This is just a little samba. You know that tune.
I like the video. I like the video for Shock. Simple, but it works, doesn't it? With your heads changing around and all that.
I was happy with how that tune turned out, and it was an interesting process of getting Andy Cooper on it. And I basically made the tune with the bass line, and I remember writing the raps in Centre Parks.
Mad.
And I just had my second daughter.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to Centre Parks, and I'm sitting in the bar. My wife's with my eldest in the swimming pool, and I said, right, I'm just going to go and take Young'un for a walk in the pram.
Yeah.
I thought, fuck it, I'll go to the bar. Yeah. So I go to the pub, sit in the bar.
Man after thine own heart.
Absolutely. So I got my pint on the go, and she's asleep, and I start writing a rap, and I feel, I just thought, I want to write a fast rap. I haven't written a fast rap in a long time.
No,
I've written. I know. I normally do.
You
right?
sure?
But this was like I want to write a 130 BPM, fast.
Yeah.
So I decided to just sit there and came out with these two verses. Got back home. I didn't have a beat in mind. This was just literally just like what a fast rap. So got back home after Centre Parks and made this beat. Found this bass line. Started working it, and I was like, oh, that sounds dope. Recorded the verses, and I was like, oh, that really works. That's a good tune. I can hear, immediately, Andy Cooper rapping on this.
Yeah.
I'd only ever met him once before. We did a show back in Fat Paulies. I don't know if you remember that night?
That.
Yeah, so we put Ugly Duckling on Fat Paulies, right? And I met, and he was a lovely dude. Messaged him, thinking he won't know who I am. Immediately he knows who I am, and I'm like, I've never spoken to him since. I mean, that's mad. Like years later, he's like, yeah, I know you are. Yeah. Oh, I've got a tune in mind. Are you up for rapping? He's like, well, you can send it. I won't promise anything because I get sent a lot of tunes through, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I get that. I sent him the tune. Within 2 weeks, he'd recorded his verse, reproduced the tune, added elements to it,
reproduced the beat.
Yeah. He slightly he didn't do much, but he kind of like he tweaked the drums and he added like these mad like trumpet bits.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, he's actually added like elements to it. I'm like, this is killer.
He's gone in.
He basically replied going, this is wicked. I love it. Here's what I've done. Let me know what you think. And I was like, my god, that was like ultra professional.
Yeah.
In all my time of working with other people, I've never had anyone turn anything around like
and
that.
Respected you enough to put in that extra.
Oh man, it was amazing.
The amount of times you just get a verse off someone and it's never.
And this is someone that I do put him in my like group of like rappers that I really fucking love. Do you know what I mean? I rate Andy Cooper highly.
Yeah,
he's a massively skilled MC, and actually he's an inspiration for me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a moment of like going, wow, I've actually made that happen. And it's like it's that classic thing of like, if you don't ask, you don't get, right?
Yeah, but also do you think it's like, and I know this sounds weird, but it's like, obviously you're dope as fuck, and you've honed your skill over so many years, and then you have these other people like, because we're from, you know what I mean, like, and you're like, oh man, like that guy's dope. But have someone that you actually like, not idolise, but like, fully on like respect, to do that, that quickly, and then go, I want to work with you.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's what I mean. It was a moment.
Come on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that was it was a a thing, especially because I'd made a lot of the album, like the Dopamine Hit album. It was almost done.
Yeah.
But then that tune was just like, it just came about like that.
Did
and
it make
just,
the album?
Yeah. You could say that. You could say that. But and obviously it was the lead single, so it was just like the whole thing of going, oh wow, that's just like, it's made the album just like that much better of having that moment of like him saying
then
yes
the
and
next
turning
day-
it around so quick. It was
So
like,
that's off
brilliant. Dopamine Hit,
Dopamine
the one
Hit.
that you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how
So
many?
that's
How many bars?
2018.
Yeah.
2018. Dopamine
Yeah, that's
Hit.
right. Yeah.
And what was the track? Push the button.
That's the one that you're on, Push the
With
Buttons. Yeah.
Big up Buckers the realist.
Big up
He's on that
Buckers.
also.
Boop,
Do you
boop,
know what I
boop.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hadn't heard that, definitely go check that. What obviously it goes without saying, I know that we love working with each other, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what other artists have you worked with that was like tick? Do you know what I mean?
Well, Prince Poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks to Oliver Twist. Big up Oliver Twist. Boom, boom,
Big
boom,
up
boom.
Oliver Twist,
Original
yeah.
Intelligent Madness crew. That was a moment. And he surprised me with that as well, because he actually sent me a beat and said, oh, I've got a tune. I really respect what you do. Do you want to feature on a track? And I was like, yeah, send the beat. And he sent the beat over. And I was like, I love the beat. I love the theme. Boom. Here's a verse. Sent it back.
Yeah.
And then he went, oh, by the way, we've got another feature MC on the track as well. And I was like, oh, yeah, who's that? He's like, Prince Poetry. I was like, what, you tell me now? Like, after I've
Retract
actually
my
done
verse,
it.
I need
Like,
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I gave you my B game. I would have gave you my
do
A.
you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
but anyway, luckily I did give my A game, because that's kind of how I did.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but, you
you're-
know. But anyway, I mean, my verse kills it. It's the best one on the fucking track. But
Now,
yeah.
you might have
The other guys
I'm
like
not
Prince both
saying
fucked up.
shit.
there,
You
didn't
might
he?
have
Yeah.
released a lot of music, but it's
But
clear to
not
see
really.
from the stuff you put out, you're a perfectionist. You don't just push it out.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Some of my shit is fucking rough and rugged. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Your
I'm
shit-
kind of no. It's not true, man.
No, I love the
definitely-
way that you do that. To be honest,
I'm
with
similar.
Your licks. I love the way that you're just like.
Because there's a place for that
You
as
don't.
well.
You tailor shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, right, I'm gonna. This is the thing I'm gonna do on this, and then
Yeah,
other
yeah.
times you just like throw shit out there, which is something I've been doing lately as well. So I just fucking loosely throw that shit out there. I just want to get my thoughts and my thing out there.
Yeah.
And the cadence of your voice and the way that you sling that out there is beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
You're
it
talking
is.
about your consistent. We were saying consistency earlier.
Yeah.
That's something that you have in abundance. Is your consistency.
Yeah.
To deliver,
Yeah.
and it's always on that vibe. Do you know what I mean? It's killer.
Yeah.
It's
No,
killer.
big up,
You
You've
two have
got
got that.
I respect it coming
You've
from
got a
both
knack.
you legends.
You've got a knack,
'cause
man.
you was doing
You
this
two have
long
got that
before me.
you know, you two have got that in. Do you know what I mean?
But
It's very
you say
similar.
that,
Like
you say that, but
his
like-
work rate, his
Oh, it's
output
electric.
is, and his
crazy.
output is just like boom, boom.
Yeah, it's
And your
crazy.
output is like boom, boom.
Yeah.
My output's like I'm stuck in a flat somewhere, but every now and then I'll just give you something. Do you know what I mean? But like you've got that in common, as in like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. You just put that shit out there. It's like fucking. This is what I'm about.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
So
And you might not be like bum 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 with your. Do you know what I mean? Like, but with your technicality or whatever. But nah, that's not
Hey,
what it's about.
Can
Yeah,
we
but don't
can we clip for what? I'm just going to go to the toilet. Is that right?
Yeah,
I
clip
for one
fucking
second.
need that after you.
Yeah. Just clip for a second.
Oh, these are hurting my fucking ears. So anyway, Chrome's a dick, isn't he?
did you hear me say that to you when you was on the phone when I said to Lee, DPF's a cunt, isn't he?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
He said, "What is he?" I went, "No, because he's still on the phone." We hung up.
When was I on the phone?
When I said, "I'm now coming to you,"
Oh, all right.
when I said, "I'm now coming in you," I mean,
Yeah.
coming to you.
Yeah, all I heard was you had me at coming, mate. I was like, right, I'm fucking getting undressed. He's just thinking, why did I invite this guy?
No, I mean the thing is, you gotta try and dice because you could go on. Do you know what I mean?
What?
There's so much to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah.
Definitely want to talk about.
So your ornaments, some of them are coming home with me, obviously.
Which one?
I don't know. Like I'm
Give you an ornament?
I'm quite up for the Tutankhamun.
Yeah, I love my. Yeah.
and the fucking Buddha head over there.
Yeah. You can have the Buddha's head.
Yeah.
Give him the Buddha's head. He can have that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. You can.
Told you,
have
didn't
that.
I said to Leo, look, man, somebody's
Yeah, we always give each
I
other
know,
gifts.
we
don't
always do that.
you know
Yeah,
what I
you know
mean?
what I mean? Like, I fucking love that shit. Yeah, fucking give that shit. Yeah, boy.
Boom.
Thank you.
Love, bro.
Nice.
It's got
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
where were we?
So
hang on,
what I was gonna say, because we talked about just on the thing of us. So we put out a project. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
asked you for some beats, and you sent me
Yeah.
a bag of beats, and I hit every single beat that you sent me. Do you know what I mean?
Nailed it.
Yeah, Sundown Syndrome. So if
Yeah.
you hadn't heard that, do you know what I mean? That's everywhere.
Nailed it. Nailed
You
it.
know, bag of features, and it
The
was
thing
a
is,
mad.
when I had those beats, and I was like, because I always do it like for each album, I make a load of beats. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I'll just be like, those ones, and then I'm still sitting on a load of beats and going, but I still think these are fucking fire. I still
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like these hit. Do you know what I mean? So either I move over to the next project, or I'm just like, well, these are not. They're just going to sit there.
Yeah.
So you were the first person I thought of. It was just
Yeah.
like, I know that you'll absolutely kill it because you're just so consistent, as we were talking about. Do you know what I mean? You're just like you're constantly putting stuff out. It's like,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
have these beats, man, and just
Yeah.
just run with an album, see what you can do. And again,
13 minutes later, he's got fucking
yeah.
16.
Well, I mean, I say about the Andy
3
Cooper.
verses.
Actually,
Yeah.
you were ultra professional. You turned that shit round pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, bro. And then you
Yeah.
got involved, which I liked. You know? what I mean,
Yeah.
as
We did
well.
a track. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That was good. That was good to get me out of my comfort zone as well. Because I hadn't written for a while at that point.
yeah,
You
dope.
were saying about, I do put stuff out a lot, but writing is a problem.
Right.
As in, I
What do you
do.
mean? What do you mean?
I get writer's block like mad. Do you know what I mean? I can't consistently. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but I really struggle.
I've got a theory on that.
Go on.
Yeah. Because I think you write like me, and I've been writing more like licks lately, right? So,
Right.
licks will just go, this is my fucking feelings, bro, and they'll just fucking write that shit and just lay it out there, yeah?
Yeah.
And you sit there and go, every fucking syllable needs
Technically.
to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I do that. I need to make everything absolutely perfect for the thing. Do you know what I mean? And then when you get given a project, but you're not in that mindset. You're not in that
For the
heightened state
technicality of it.
Yeah, to sit there and tailor every single thing, and you're scribbling rhyme schemes at the top of the page, and then you're putting them in, trying to put them together, and you're putting the ands and ifs and buts, but you want them to rhyme with the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, make this pattern symmetry work out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, and then you're given a project, and you're like, nah. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I can't. I haven't got that. Autism in me yet. Do you know what I mean? No, but that's true.
Yes.
But that's true.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
got that fucking autism in me at this point. But I will have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't always work out, and so yeah, you just
No, I hear that.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause you tailor every fucking every little twist and turn and fucking everything in it because you want
But
it
it's
to
a,
be
like I say,
perfect.
it's a syllable practice thing.
It's
So
a syllable practice,
It's where I come
it's
from,
symmetry, and it's not just rhyming the first thing at the first bar and rhyming the word at the end of the bar, and whatever happens in the middle is just fucking gibberish, which loads of people do, which is cool because it works for them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that you do that. You don't. You fucking. Do you know what I mean? Your thing is soulful as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a broken heart.
No, I get
fucking-
exactly what
do you know
you're
what I mean?
saying.
You know what I mean?
Because
But
it's
that-
easier to sit down and say how you're feeling. Done,
Yeah. But
rather
that's.
than construct something technical.
But that's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing too, though. That's a beautiful thing because it's so fucking raw and untouched and unfucked with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it fucking, when you hear it, like when you've done you done a song about Laura, and I was at my mum's and I was walking around and I had it on my headphones. So I was just going for a walk.
Yeah.
And you sung that song. I was like, I cried.
Yeah.
Bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Amazing.
I cried, and do you know what I mean? Like, some of the songs that you write literally like get me. Do you know what I mean? I'm like and like, but do people have different approaches to it? And your approach is like fucking.
Well, it's,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's
rap,
coming
rap,
from
rap,
that. It's that school of Pharoah Monch, right? And
Yes.
It's the school of.
I'm getting more graphic than a Neo Geo.
But it's just that's
Go on,
my
spit that verse.
That's my
spit that
inspiration.
verse. You know that verse.
I
Do
mean,
it. Spit it. Go
What,
on.
What now?
Yeah, now.
That's
Right
not,
now.
That's not my verse though.
Go on. You've done it before. Do it.
I don't. It's been a long time, but you know, organised.
Alright.
You know the organised confusion.
You don't have to. I'm not putting you
Yeah,
on the spot.
yeah.
I'm not putting you on the spot. It's a
But
fucking
even
hard.
getting more graphic than a Neo Geo 32-bit computer chip be slipped between my lips and then I'll spit it out. Go ahead, spit it out. The itty bitty style you upchuck. Better believe I butt fuck MCs from the rear. I'd appear if you chuck.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's about
Do you know what I
that.
mean? Like, so that sort of shit.
Feral
And
munch.
that's
Feral
the kind
munch.
of that's the kind of shit that I mean he plugged me on. And so and like because this is not about me. I'm not trying to divert this to me, but Chrome literally put me onto that technical style of rapping and sort of.
So basically, going from like a
Freestyle
syllable
fellowship
thing, well, Mike and I, right? Totally.
Just adding that different shit.
But going from that to how Licks writes and how you're saying it's more of a just a free flow of like actually writing your feelings or
There's a very much of a Tupac
a style
influence in your style.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that
just
was my guide. Do you know
Just
what I
that
mean?
cadence of your voice and that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because do you know what I mean? I just thought my thing was no rappers that I was listening to back then would get me emotional. I'd be like, "Fuck, this is." Do you know what I mean?
You bleed your heart out on the
Wu-Tang
mic.
Forever.
Basically.
Do you know these things would blow up my mind?
the words, yeah.
But like, I don't know if you can remember the Ghostface verse on Wu-Tang. Call the ambulance, Jamie been shot. Where he's talking about his
Crazy.
friend getting killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard Conway the Cow?
No.
With West Side Gun when he's on a, do you know what I mean? Even saying it's just like,
Yeah.
So then Vert and Tupac was that. Tupac would get me emotional. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah,
that always stayed with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Whereas like I think Chrome was always like on that that fucking crazy technical. How do you use the syllables? How do you make B's and M's work? Do you know what I mean? Like that sort
Well,
of
it was
thing.
also, and it was finding MCs that were trying to do the same thing. So like, which was a bit of it was a hard thing to find other MCs. As hip hop went on, I was finding it harder to discover MCs that were actually trying to do that art.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So MCs like Gift of Gab and
Rest
I
in
suppose
peace.
yeah, totally. And I suppose Edon and it was getting less and less. It was hard to find MCs that were like real what we call syllable practice, right? Finding MCs that were doing that, and it's more kind of like that changing of the guard because of MCs like Jay-Z and 50 Cent that were coming in.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, a lot of MCs were switching up their styles to a lot more kind of laid back and
I mean, the difference between Jay-Z and 50...
But with that it became more poetic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And more soulful, which is cool. You know,
Lovely,
I'm down with that. But it was just like... But where's the kind of G-rap and the big pun shit and the...
But I was going to quickly say, because 50 was always that. But Jay-Z did that before he dropped his
Jay-Z
first
was totally
album.
that, yeah.
He was that.
Originally.
Oh,
He was one of the
There's that famous
godfathers of that
freestyle
shit,
with Big L, isn't there?
Oh, killer.
Mad. Do you know what I mean?
And his first single with the Jazz.
Yeah.
It's
The
like just all
originators.
tricksy as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. So Jay-Z was that, but I mean, I'm more. Everyone knows Jay-Z really for kind of like Blueprint.
Yeah, Hard Knock Life and all that.
Yeah.
So do you think rapping got lazier? Like people was putting less effort into
100%. 100%. Yeah. As in like because of hip hop, because how massive hip hop became.
Yeah.
Right. A majority of like your mainstay names that were popular.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you only have to look at.
You can't sell records to Middle America, going
if you get
doing like a
you need to sound like Mace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Jay Quan.
Yeah.
Or someone. Do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
mad.
They all rhyme, don't they?
Yeah.
Mate,
I think
Yeah.
the more complex, skilled, articulate rappers like that rapping kind of died out in America on the mainstream because your cool rappers started coming through. It's all about swag and style now, and P. Diddy's come through and all of that sort of thing. So it's all shiny suits and all that. But the good thing is it then spread out then to so that people who was late to it, your East Europeans, your Australia, England was kind of already before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We had that.
So
anyway,
that stayed alive in other places. Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Sure.
Especially Eastern Europe, like you
Yeah,
said.
and they
Do you know
still
what I mean? They're
appreciate
sort
that
of like
now.
boom, back. Do you know what I mean? Like they're full on like.
Boom, they love the boom bap.
And they're quite militant about their approach to it.
True.
So,
It's true.
so do you know what I mean? You've been in hip hop through these different eras.
It's mad. I've
8 years now,
seen
isn't
it go in cycles.
Yeah.
Of what goes around comes around, and it's bizarre how like the underground kind of goes like that, and then it sort of emerges again as it did with like the backpack scene. If you like your raucous, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like tracks like Most Def with Pharaoh, Oh No, and stuff like that, you know, and it's kind of come round again,
It
and I
came
feel like it's
back with,
happening
like-
again. Almost.
Yeah.
It came
There's
back a few
massive
years ago,
resurgence.
didn't it, with like New Era, Joey Badass, and
Yeah, there you go.
and like,
Yeah,
the
but that
Black
kind
Hippies,
of, like-
Kendrick, and everyone.
But that kind of spiked and fell a bit, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like the Joey Badass, especially that era that he came up and do you think? Do you know what I mean? It came up and,
well,
and
you
everyone
hear
was
it-
like,
I
oh,
mean, you say
he's like a big
Kendrick,
early-
right? You say Kendrick, and you think about how Kendrick came out, what, 2013, 14
That's
sort of time,
around
right?
when I started listening
right?
to him,
and, you know, and all of a sudden became this amazing rapper, and the stuff he was making was like initially, if you listen to the Section 80 album, is it? I think it's quite hardcore. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's quite gritty.
Yeah.
And then the Good Kid, Mad Kid has still got that, but it's like maybe going a bit more kind of like commercial led
Artistic
in
and-
some ways. And then it like the Damn stuff was even more kind of like contemporary.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was more sort of fitting with what was
Yeah.
like the mainstream.
I'll be honest, he was my least favourite out of Black Hippies.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I rate Kendrick highly.
Yeah, yeah.
Me
Me
too,
too.
but
I rate him. I
I
know
got
you're
introduced
a
to
big
him.
Ab Soul fan, right?
That's
And-
how I got introduced. Big Ish introduced me.
Right.
And then I got into Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy Q's wicked. Ab Soul's fucking dope.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Ab Soul. But I mean, the whole thing was, I found like Kendrick was trying to sort of like really go with the how the movement was going. So like MCs with like Future were coming into the scene, and stuff that I wasn't really feeling.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it went. But now it seems like it's kind of coming back round again, and a lot of like the MCs are.
So what?
I don't know.
What did you make
Going
of
back
the
to-
Drake Kendrick beef? Did you listen to the tracks that was happening?
Yeah, I followed it all. Yeah.
So what did you make of all that?
K. Dot killed it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive Drake fan. So.
I mean,
I like Drake's early mixtape stuff, but
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty dope. But I
Yeah.
don't know. As far as his albums, I've never been a fan, really.
I like Drake. I like Drake in the sense of like, there's definitely a time and place for Drake. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you know, sorry, if do you know what I mean? If you was just chilling with a girl, do you know what I mean, or having a drink or
I
something.
can see
like
how that works, but
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
I'd rather listen to Marvin Gaye.
yeah. No, I get it. Do you know what I mean? There's no way I'd ever be able to fucking persuade you to be a Drake fan, but I take Drake for what he is.
Like I say,
do you know what I mean?
He can rap.
Yeah.
He can totally rap.
Yeah.
Obviously. Do you know what I mean? I suppose if you listen, like I say, his early like stuff, you can hear it, but
it felt like a real
he changed.
two
didn't he?
massive elements of hip hop went against each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was
What-
like the realness of hip hop, the Kendrick, and, you know.
versus all of the kind of money side and everything.
know what I
else.
mean?
Yeah, it's true. It was
You know.
It was a funny battle.
He had been pumped up so much to where he was godlike. So I like the fact that
I'm
he's been brought back down.
I'm sure if I spoke to a lot of Drake fans, they would probably say that Drake killed it and won it. I don't know, but I'm coming from a Kendrick side, and so I'm biased because I listen to a lot of Kendrick. I don't listen to much Drake.
Yeah.
So I feel that Kendrick is a way better rapper technically because he does do all that shit.
Yeah.
He does that. He does the pop stuff, but he does the fucking hardcore stuff. He does the jazz stuff.
Yeah.
He's a lot more cultured.
Yeah.
And his words and his actual messages, what he comes out with, I feel are way deeper than what Drake
he's
could ever
made some
deliver.
powerful songs.
Yeah, crazy.
We gonna be alright.
Oh, it's
do you know
a
what I mean?
tune,
That
it's a
video, do you know what I mean? With the I was just like you, do you know what I mean? With
But it's just the
beats
fact
and all
of
that.
like the actual production choices. I feel like he's got a good ear
Yeah.
for music as well, more so than what Drake. And I put, it's a weird one for me, but it's kind of like when Eminem became really big.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people go mental about Eminem, and yes, he's technically one of the best ever. He's
Yeah.
crazy with his skills, but his production choices are so poor.
I agree. I completely
So
100%
poor. I don't
agree.
get it.
I liked the production
Because
on the
I
Slim
suppose
Shady LP.
business-wise, you can't question it because he's made it.
This
He's
is the
done it.
argument always with like people on the internet and stuff about Eminem, is that like people in the hood don't listen to Eminem. Do you know what I mean? You know, you'd never cruise around listening to an Eminem song. I did listen to his new album. You know, I thought, you know what? I haven't listened to any of his albums.
Couple of good
for
moments on
years.
there.
Yeah,
Couple of good moments.
You know what I mean? I was like,
But it
you know what?
wasn't blown up. But then the Eminem and LL Cool J tune, I suppose that resonated with me.
Hello, Cool J did better than him though.
Oh yeah, Cool J kills him.
Yeah,
all day.
which is you know.
But Eminem's still dope on it.
Oh mate,
He's still dope
I
on
love
it.
Eminem. Like, come on, you can't
Yeah, but
argue
I
that.
remember-
It's like what some of the most.
I remember you buying I Just Don't Give a Fuck 12.
Yeah,
And bringing
do
it
you know what I
home
mean?
and going, check this out. I was like, brain damage on it as
just
well.
don't
I was
give
like,
a fuck.
fuck,
Yeah, it's
check
just
that
like,
shit.
I mean, come on. Like, he would say shit that was so fucking obvious that no one thought of because they were thinking outside the box. And he was like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, I can see the woods, there's no trees type
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know
It was
what I mean?
around the era of Tom Green on MTV, Humping Dead Mooses and all.
Yeah.
It was that era,
No, it
weren't
was.
it? Do you know what I mean?
But it was hilarious.
Because it was just before the internet,
Wacky.
weren't it?
Like,
So-
buddy,
yeah,
you want
yeah,
drugs?
yeah.
Look at you, you're getting blood all over my rug or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I love that shit. It was like, it was so fucking comedic and like, and sick. But then,
Yeah.
then he got super technically good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just bores me.
Yeah.
Like, I listen
The
to
rap
like
God
God
and
and
stuff,
shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, okay. Like, I just feel like I'm sort of like being waterboarded by hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
in a way.
Yeah.
But it's just no, like, no disrespect to anyone listening to this. Like, no disrespect to Eminem. He's amazing. But I'm just,
My
Yeah.
mum loves
much.
Eminem. My mum's got all of Eminem's CDs. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
I don't even know whether
I love that.
I remember from when she heard.
That's crazy.
She heard me playing Stan.
You are.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
from then, she's like, do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
she's got all his albums.
Oh,
I
fuck,
stopped
okay.
listening.
My mum's
I
got all
literally
Cliff
thought-
Richard's albums.
Do you know what my dad wanted to call me?
My mum's got all
Do you know what my
Elkie
dad wanted
Brooks'
to call
albums.
me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, go on.
Cliff Richard.
Serious.
Honestly, my dad.
No
my
fucking
dad,
way.
I've said it on there before.
Oh my god.
My
Cliffy Licks.
I say the same shit.
Don't look at me like that. I don't want to get hit.
You know
Amazing.
what? You know
Amazing.
what?
I can see it, man.
Maybe subliminally. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd hear this story growing up all the time.
Yeah.
Ricky, Cliff Richard, Ricky. Do you know what I mean?
So hang on. Let
So
me.
subliminally, I always knew I could have been called Cliff Richard.
Cliffy Licks.
So then when I've started graffitiing, I don't know why I wrote Ricky Licks. I
Oh, yeah, so yeah,
This
that's
is
true.
because
That's
this is
mad.
something I
Yeah,
want to
do you
know.
know what I
actually.
mean?
Why are you called Ricky Licks?
Ah, bad.
Because his name's.
because I was going to be called Cliff Richard, so I remixed it into Ricky Licks.
David.
But now I don't know if you can remember the NTW Norwich Training Workshop
Right.
at Dalton
Yeah.
Bridge.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I went to do a painting course there, and obviously these times I was graphing. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And
I got arrested. Yeah.
so I just letters that went into like sometimes, you know, so the R would go nicely into the R, and then and then I'd bring back round, and then I was like, look, do you know what I mean? I remember writing it. Do you know what I mean? And then yeah, it was just always kind of there. So then years later, because the first couple of tapes I put out in jail, I was calling myself Peter Pan. I hadn't
Seriously?
yeah, I hadn't actually.
Peter Pan.
I do
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
in fairies.
I hadn't actually. I sent someone a tape, old.
Okay,
H-
so what age are we talking here? Like, so you're like what?
well, when I started rapping,
Yeah.
I started rap. Well, 19.
Okay.
So I was late. Yeah.
Wasn't as late.
Yeah, I was
19.
late.
That's a pretty average age to start
Yeah, so-
rapping
well,
from.
yeah,
not
yeah.
not 6.5,
I know I'm a
mate.
bit fucking weird.
You
That's
know
all
what
it
I mean?
is.
Like
Yeah.
6.5 years old, just like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
walking down the street the other day. And
I was eating my Ruskies and it was.
I do feel like there is a connection between the Cliff Richard and Ricky Licks thing. Do you know what I mean? But maybe that is like a fuck no. It was a rest in peace, Dad. Maybe I've done it for him. Who knows? But
So when he went
So-
to jail, did he go, "We're all going on"?
cool. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was Elvis.
I know that all.
Jailhouse
too
Rock.
much,
That's pretty
man.
much how jail
All
was.
too
Do you know
much.
what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
But
I know.
now,
I know that
talking
too
about
much,
the
man.
evolution of hip hop, do you know what I mean? Because nowadays it's like there's so many genres of hip hop, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely diverged like so much. I mean, if you think about like the 2000 mid 2000s, like the
Yeah.
noughties, what do we call them?
Yeah.
Noughties. It went proper weird.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
the
know if you
biggest.
know the anti-con scene and all that sort of shit.
Oh man.
Who's that?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, the anti-con scene. So kind of like
An icon.
LP from Run the Jewels, for instance,
Right.
was sort of on the verge of that scene, but it went deep.
Was he?
Right, okay.
Well, you remember Dear LP, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so he was getting dissed. He was kind of
Okay,
involved in that
He
scene,
was in- yeah,
but
yeah.
it was a weird fucking scene of like, it was really arty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hip hop had gone. Not only had it gone like really bling and all that, but it'd gone completely the other fucking direction as
Yeah.
well. So rather than just it being like this middle of like East versus West, and maybe then the Southern come into it, it just gone fucking crazy.
Yeah.
With like I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it, because it wasn't what you'd necessarily consider hip hop.
Yeah.
It was like almost like indie
Yeah, yeah.
rap, like
yeah, yeah.
indie music with rap on it, but like crazy samples and shit.
Yeah.
So hip hop had fucking moved. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was
Yeah.
properly strange.
I loved that song.
I got
for a
involved.
stint.
I was in there, but it was also a bit like some of it's just a bit too out there for me, even. And I'm
Dose
I,
one.
I,
and
I,
do you know what mean? Some
I
of that
like
one.
I like a bit of avant-garde.
Yeah.
Out there shit, do you know what I mean? But some of it was just, it was even too much. It was like, no, I can't get with that.
Do you think it was because of like our penchant for like that West Coast
Well, the Freestyle Fellowship,
Freestyle
right? And it's
Fellowship,
I like my jazz.
Yeah.
I love my jazz. Do you know what I mean? So that jazz element I could get with, but
They were
yeah.
very ahead of
sometimes
the
it was
time,
just
weren't they?
too
Do you,
much.
do
You
you,
know?
I put out an album called Mez Row.
Right?
Do you know who Mez Row is?
No.
He was an old white Jewish guy, do you know what I mean? And when
Okay.
these old jazz musicians weren't making fuck all money, he was like in the scene, he was linking people, like, type him in, I'm surprised you don't know him, Mez as well. But he's not a famous name. I just happened to watch a documentary about this guy, so he was in there with like, what's the guy, Miles Davis, is it Miles?
Miles Davis,
All
yeah,
of
yeah.
them sort of around
Okay.
that era.
Yeah.
Mez Row, he's a white Jewish guy, do
okay.
you know what I mean?
That was
Yeah.
like a sort of,
And
yeah,
he was a
picture, sort of.
integral part of that because he had money, and do you know what I mean? And he was linking things up, and so yeah,
Cool.
That's why I had a project called Mez Row.
Right.
But what do you think of like? Do you think that like what do you think of drill? Obviously, drill started in Chicago.
It has its place, man, and I like bits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's definitely been a few things that have made my ears prick up, but
Yeah.
in general, I suppose a lot I don't connect with.
I mean,
demographic.
hip hop is different.
Sorry, you are.
You're not his demographic. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Nor
yeah,
am
but
I.
it's- yeah,
Like,
but then dancehall music. Dancehall music's not my demographic.
No,
but I
but-
resonated with a lot of that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
Yeah,
it's-
that's a good point.
It's only the
That's a good
beat.
point.
It doesn't.
It's only
sit-
it's only the beat that makes it drill. It's still hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course it is.
But like, I happen to be wearing Easy. So gangsters and gangster rap has always been there. Do you know what I mean? You on about Run DMC? Do you know what I mean? Jam Master Jay. You know,
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
he shot over a coke deal, or you know,
Yeah,
was,
they
he
didn't
was
sort
still in
of,
it.
they didn't represent that in their music though.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the thing. Like nowadays, it's the
But then it's not. I was a massive, huge Schoolie D fan.
yeah.
Schoolie D was fucking. He's the father of gangster music. He's the first person to make gangster rap,
Yeah, Schoolie
and
D.
I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But then it's because the beats did it for me.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that, I think because you said at the start of this show, you said, yes, you're an MC, but you're a producer, and I think because I'm a DJ and I'm a producer as well, a lot of the time I am beat first,
Yeah,
even though
yeah.
I'm a technical rapper and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of a lot of the time like really searching for the
You
beat.
want that.
Of course,
yeah,
that
I'm
verse
I'm
can
search-
be as
I'm
good as
searching.
anything.
You
but
want
you know
that
what I mean?
to-
Right beat.
And a lot of drill beats sometimes are just a bit like I don't
Yeah.
get with it.
Do you think like
You
the
could
frequency
kill it.
of it is like
Good.
It's
Sometimes,
it hits you in
sometimes,
your,
yeah.
it hits you in your stomach. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's not an uplifting music, is it?
I mean, I was a dubstep DJ for years and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm a bass head.
Yeah.
I like my bass music. I love it. But I don't know, there's something about drill music that doesn't quite, like, I don't click with it.
Yeah. No, I get that. Do you know what I mean? It's
And I suppose because of that, I'm not checking out the MCs as I should.
yeah, yeah. But it's I mean, some of the scenes are nuts. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we always kind of know what's happening in New York and California, the Bloods and all of that. Do you know what I mean? But some of these other areas, do you know, other areas like where guns are legal and stuff, their rap scenes are mental because
Right.
like. You know, they're all allowed to have guns, like Jacksonville and like these. There's a rapper, I don't know if you heard of Julio Fulio, who just passed
Nah.
away, but the beef between him and Young.
Well, we were
M.A.
talking about that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Where the white dude who was like he promoted the stuff on YouTube and he got all
and
the
he done a show about
millions of
them,
it.
like, do you know what I mean?
That was nuts. That thing, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Some of the, it went from like, because back in the day, people would talk about what's happening, and nowadays they talk about what they're doing, to the point where like people are in court. Some famous rappers, young
grassing
folks,
themselves up on
young folks, and like Casanova. A lot of these big rappers, they're using their lyrics in court and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Mad.
It's
It's like literally like grassing themselves up.
Yeah.
Crazy
There's,
shit.
do you know King Von? You heard of King Von? He obviously passed away, and like they reckon that
They all pass
the
away, don't they?
the FBI reckon that he
it's
had
fucked
like
up though, isn't
they
it?
reckon
It's
he
so
had
messed
like
up.
9 bodies. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
You
wow.
know, that's why that Trap Law done the documentary Rap's First Serial Killer. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But I was
It's
just
crazy.
interested. Do you know what I mean? Because it has gone.
I mean, you
Even
know,
by my standards of liking gangster rap, it's now at a place where like,
It's
whoa,
quite
these
low.
guys are fucking
it's quite a low.
yeah, they're
But
killing
there's
each
so
other.
much money in it.
Yeah.
There's so much
The
money
record
in it.
labels. How many people you killed? 2? You're signed.
Sure.
You haven't even heard my song yet. Don't matter. We'll sort that out later.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And the
like-
thing is like hip hop. Essentially, I mean, it could be argued anyway. Obviously, there's arguments against that, and everyone can say what they want. But like, with all the gang wars and stuff going on in New York, that hip hop was sort of invented in a sense to let's stop killing each other and just rap.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch, there's a documentary on Disney at the minute called Breaking on the One.
Breaking on the One.
It's just come out, and it's about a certain battle that happened in the early 80s between Rocksteady Crew and Dynamic Rockers,
Right.
which were their rival breaking crew from New York, from Manhattan. And it was all of that. It's like the whole thing of like the police turning up to an early battle that was happening just in like Central Park or somewhere,
Yeah.
and there was loads of people crowding round, and the police are turning up and sort of like, locking, putting people in handcuffs and going, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, we're rocking.
Yeah.
It's like, rocking? What do you mean? What, you're throwing rocks at each other? And it's like, no, we're dancing. It's like, what? It's a dance battle. So it's exactly what you're saying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That whole thing of like,
But wasn't the
it's
whole
gone, it's
movement
gone from
kind of
like,
set
it's
up
come from
for that?
gangs to them dancing,
Yeah.
and it's gone completely back the other way because of too much money being involved. Of what originally came out and what hip hop was. That whole fucking movement of like positive like vibrations of everything, peace, unity, love, having fun, it's disappeared.
Yeah,
So
it
I
used
guess
to be
it-
let's get away from the hood and the gangs and the violence, get my family out of the hood.
Yeah.
Now it seems to be get rich and there's
Yeah.
rappers,
And then
rappers used to clean their dirty money.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
dirty and they're clean money.
Yeah.
They're getting rich and staying in the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
hip hop was like social commentary. It was about it was basically just a new wave of blues and soul and
Totally.
I mean, like was social commentary. We're talking about the environment that I'm living in and it became a vehicle for people to like get out of that poverty and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
then unfortunately the human condition is that once you've met your roof over your head, your water, your food, that the more excess you get from that, but the more of a prick you become.
Yeah.
And that's for anyone.
Just one thing about, you've talked about what it was like being in the UK scene, do you know what I mean? What's it like now for you to see people who aren't even that talented, do you know what I mean, blow up and make millions, do you know what I mean?
Well, it depends who you mean, but I mean,
There's a lot of English artists, I won't say names, but a lot of English artists have blown up and they're making serious money now.
so
And
like
that
say
never
someone
really
like
happened.
H, for instance, or
Him.
someone like that.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. He's a good songwriter.
H is
But
is a good rapper, yeah.
Was that H not in steps?
yeah, H and Steps. Yeah, he's just cut his hair off and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
And now he rhymes. He's fucking dope. If you
Are
didn't
you
know
fuck-
this,
fuck
you
you.
didn't. No, seriously.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking dope.
Yeah.
He's had a bit of a facelift.
Because he went jail, didn't
Shaved his hair off.
What's going on?
he? No, we're joking. There's
I was
a
going to
rapper,
say.
there's a rapper called H from Manchester. What do you think of
I mean-
Central C?
Central C is like again.
Because they love him in America, don't they?
You know my job nowadays, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know I'm a function DJ and all that sort of shit,
Yeah.
right? So I play all this shit,
Well, okay.
and I get requested all these tunes all the time. So I'm aware of it. I listen to it. It's not my thing. I wouldn't listen to it at home. I don't walk around with it on. I walk around with fucking spiritual jazz in my headphones and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's they're well-made tunes.
Yeah.
Like the D Block shit. It's like the fucking
D Block Europe. Yeah.
It's really fucking well-made stuff.
Yeah,
and they are,
and they love it, and
they're
all around the world.
They love it. It's working.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea, but then I'm nearly 50. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, why would it be my cup of tea?
Cool.
That's what I meant earlier. Why that's not your demographic. As in, like,
That weren't
over
even,
that
what my point is that they're getting paid now, and it's nice. Do you know what I mean? Because some people,
I've got no problem with that at all.
Do you know what I
It's
mean?
like, they're fucking doing their thing.
people, if they wanted to listen to hip hop, a lot of people would listen to American hip hop. Do you know what I mean? And like, there's also
Always.
you'd find the odd UK. Do you know what I mean?
It's always going to be the way.
But
Well, you say that. But
nowadays,
yes, I mean,
there's
your
a lot.
Skeptors and Stormzy's over the last 10 years.
If you go now to like kids over the park smoking weed, listening to songs on there, they're listening to English music. Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like, do you think like a D Block or H, or do you think they might
would
be like,
call them commercial?
Or
do you
would
know what I mean?
think so? They might be going for like a.
Do you know what I mean?
They might be going for a Black Josh or Verb T or something like that.
Nah, I mean, they're now like. Yeah. Who are some of the guys that people are listening to? Do you know what I mean? Your Potter Papers, your
Right, yeah, Potter
your
Papers is
Nine. Who's
Ipswich, isn't he?
who?
Potter Papers.
Potter Papers from no, he's from East London. He's from
is he?
Barking. Yeah.
I thought he had like an Ipswich
born
connection
in
of some
Barking.
sort.
I should
Somebody's-
imagine they all rap about trapping in different areas.
Right,
Don't they?
right,
Like, Young Ad lived in Norwich, didn't he?
Right, I didn't
Because he
know that.
raps in his tracks.
Shit, I didn't know that.
I bet he's got a flat about serving up in Norwich with a cat called Stephen. I'm not the cat, do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
it's funny, isn't it? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
He was.
Funny how he grassed you up on that one, isn't it?
Yeah. When he came out, of jail, he was in John Bulk House on Alton
Right.
Road. You know
Wow.
what I mean? So yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
Mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
John Bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, hip hop's took a turn that way, but it's also like you said, the essence of hip hop come back in America. Like the boom bap has been flourishing over the last few years. Do you know what I mean?
The one thing I keep seeing when you go on Facebook pages, and especially like because of the age that I'm at, the people that I'm chatting to, they moan about hip hop and so on. And a lot of people I see saying, "Oh, you know, what should I go and listen to that's new hip hop but of a good boom bap sound?" And what I keep noticing is that the lists that keep coming out, they're all new albums that are released, but they're all by fucking old school hip hop acts.
Yeah.
So it's always the same names that come up. So it's your Black Thought and it's your, you know, your LP and
Black
da, da,
Thought's
da.
just
And it's good shit.
Yeah.
It's good fucking music, and that's great. There's no real young
New artists coming.
What about-
new artists that are making this shit, which is of that sound, that are doing it right on that level. Like the new LL Cool J album, for instance.
Yeah.
You'd never hear a young act
Nah, you're not going to hear that.
making something of that fucking level.
No.
It's never going to happen.
What's
right?
the four guys? Is
Because
it
it's a different
Razzcast's
era. It's a
son?
different age.
Costa Nostra, what are they called?
Costa Coast.
You know them?
Coast, yeah. So
Yeah.
Razzcast's son.
Coast
yeah.
Costa, sorry.
Coast.
Yeah, they're dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
they are
JID?
the exception. But then when they put their album out, the production was poor.
Right, and
Yeah.
It's
But the
awful.
rapping is amazing.
Rapping's wicked, but the production was poor.
I mean,
Right.
hip
It's like-
hop, you can't stop
Because
can't
the
stop
problem
movement.
is everything that they put out that you see on the TikTok and YouTube and stuff,
Yeah.
they're all rapping over Scenario or they're
Yeah,
rapping
yeah,
over
yeah.
fucking the JID
Or the
beat and
Wu-Tang
stuff, and it's
thing
like,
and
you know
that,
what I mean?
yeah,
I
yeah.
liked
It's
when Griselda came about. Talking about them, like they're new, but then when they come
But
out
that's the
like
thing as
10
well,
years
'cause-
ago,
yeah, because
they was on the
they're not
radio
young, are
show
they? They're not
with-
young. Do you know what I mean? So
they was they had radio shows with Razzcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd see them with Prodigy. Like some of the older guys were coming through to like recognize real.
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They blew up. That's mad. They was older, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But they're
It was
killer.
the story.
They're
It was
killer.
Conway getting shot. That was like,
Yeah.
you know, that was their thing that brought him into the game.
I watched Arm & Hammer at Latitude
Yeah.
recently, like this summer, and it was a funny as fuck thing because it was like they were playing Friday night midnight set, so like headline set on a decent stage.
Yeah.
And at the start of the set, it was full. Do you know Arm & Hammer stuff? Like Benny,
only
Benny the
just.
Butcher and stuff.
Benny the Butcher. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah.
It's dark as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like it's that they go in.
Necro. type
Within
thing.
about 2 tracks, there was just like this mass exodus of people walking away, and I was standing there going, "Fuck off, the lot of you!
Really?
This is amazing. This is fucking, like, dope."
You had
but it's that's the level of like
Generations.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
see?
totally.
Did you see Method Man's comments recently about?
Yeah,
where was
yeah.
that? Where was that?
Oh yeah, because they played that show.
Was that
they played
Coachella?
Red and Meth. It's something like that. No, it was a New York show, wasn't it?
Was it?
So Red and Meth played this.
But he got
show,
off and said, "I'm never doing this again."
and people were just standing there.
Who did? Who said that?
Method Man and Red done a big show, and
Yeah.
he just come back and he writ on Twitter or whatever it was. The gap in hip hop now is too big.
Yeah.
I won't be back to do this ever again.
Wow.
This, whatever.
Well, because everyone was standing there, no one knew the lyrics basically to the Blackout and
Yeah.
so on, right?
Yeah.
So, there's Meth and Red just doing their massive routine and really going for it, and no one really got it.
Everyone's just like,
Yeah.
That's a shame because when I
'Cause there's a
started
younger
listening,
crowd.
to,
Yeah.
when I started listening to
So the
hip hop, I
promoter
wanted to know
got
about
it
the
wrong.
old guys.
That's the problem. The promoter got it wrong.
Right.
The promoter booked them
Yeah.
for a show that they shouldn't have been playing at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that generation of
'Cause
people.
that-
That's
yeah,
all it
because
is.
that
It's like
demographic's not gonna be there.
everyone else on that lineup was probably like a 20-year-old, like
Yeah.
New York up and coming or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's all it is.
what do you think of Earth Gang and JOD?
Love them.
Ah,
Yeah. Earth Gang are
I
fucking
just wanted to
amazing.
throw it out there just because.
Spill Village and
Baptized. It's like,
what are they called? Spillage?
Spillage, yeah,
Spillage Village. Yeah.
Yeah, Spillage Village. Oh,
Fucking dope. Yeah, of course.
So I'm sorry. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
just
no.
'cause
That's what I mean. I do like, because the thing is, that's me.
Yeah, I
So
knew you'd like that.
You know that I'm on that tip because it's like
It's all over that thing.
It's a jazz kind
They're
of.
all over
tip.
that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's such a jazz thing. It's such a like
yeah.
scat.
It's
scat rap
freestyle
type
fellowship
kind of-
almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a freestyle fellowship with the
Oh
South.
man,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's dope.
Do you know them?
Who?
It's JID obviously.
JOD, yeah.
Yeah.
He's done tracks with Conway, yeah, I know.
Yeah. And like, his crew. And you almost think that it's the same guy. If you didn't know that it was like different people, you'd think it was the same guy.
They're like a modern day Outcast.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and also like got loads of like
I tell you what,
other influences in there as well. It's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, rather than just like rap, do you know what I mean? They're like, I'm da-da-da-da. So there's that new stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But even less so.
They've got the one thing that I found with them is that they've got a real good way of producing projects and not just doing track. They actually like make a story with an album, with an
Like a
EP.
Pink
So
Floyd album.
So the whole
but
project,
also
yeah.
just like have skits.
Yeah.
And that make the whole thing like connect together, and it's something that you don't find that often these days
No,
as well.
it's a beautiful
Actually,
thing,
like
man.
concept albums, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's rare that you find that.
It's so throwaway nowadays. It's like, oh my god, are you listening to that tune that was released 3 weeks ago? It's like, oh my god, Doggy Style Snoop Dogg album was on my Walkman. Didn't even have auto reverse. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
on that
yeah.
for
You'd
a
kind
year.
of you'd have
Like,
to listen to the whole thing.
Cool.
You had that. You
Yeah.
had tapes that you just listened
Yeah,
to
yeah.
and listened to and listened to, and now people just throw it away. And the sort of the thought of an album.
People, you're
a
lucky
body
to
of
get.
work.
You're lucky to get 30 seconds of someone's attention on the internet.
Oh mate,
It's
you
never.
scroll.
It's a never-ending.
I'm that.
So you're
like-
lucky to get a few seconds. So listening to someone's album, people just don't do it no more.
I'm like that.
sure.
Shit.
Or weed, do you know what I mean? But a lot of people don't.
Even reels, like I'm there and it's like, this dog was found in North Colorado and we found it and it was 8 weeks old and it was like, fuck off. Wait, well, I need to see that fucking thing healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's bag and bones.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to see that healthy now.
I mean,
no, I'm going to
I'm-
go on to the next, all tits. And then,
Well,
and then,
totally,
stick, and
yeah.
then it's like, oh, my attention's, you've made me ADHD. I wasn't that
true.
before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've literally made me ADHD and possibly Downs at this point.
I'm properly looking for cute dogs or cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for.
Do you know what I mean?
I wanna.
Oh, so let me say this. Sorry, quickly. Sorry.
No more hanging cats, please.
No, but right, no, it's about cats though. So Chrome. So today I'm on the phone to my missus. Right, we don't live together. She lives in Milton Keynes.
Right. Okay.
and you know, and I'm video calling her, right? And I've had this cat since Father's Day. When's that? May? Is it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
March. Yeah.
Right.
So I've had this cat since then, right?
Right.
Absolutely adorable cat, the most affectionate fucking thing. It tries to breastfeed off me. I'm not even kidding.
I bet it
Which
does.
is weird.
You do lactate though, which is weird.
Yeah, well, you know,
She
but-
tries, as in he's grabbing his.
Get in there, right? So what happened was, right? So I'm on the phone, right? And she's like, "How's Elkie?" Because I called her after Elkie Brooks, right? Okay. Belle's a singer. So anyway, I got this cat, and I'm like, "She's cool. Look, she's lying there like a swastika, like." Do you know what I mean? I'm like, look, she's cool. I was like, "Ooh, I'll give her a stroke of her belly," and this pink thing come out. And I went,
no.
And I went, "What the fuck is that?"
Lipstick.
And I was like,
not a
what?
she.
She is, and then I was like, and then Vix was like, you didn't have to do this, but I did. So I was like, what are they? Oh, shit. There's a couple of balls. So I've had this cat for the whole fucking time.
I'm really
right?
sorry about
Thinking
this,
it's a
Sheila.
girl.
And I'm like, hey, I get home and I'm like, hey, princess, oh my God, I love you, baby. You know what I mean? It's actually a fucking dude. So now, like, I'm like, oh.
What do you call him? Elkman.
No, I'm going to have to call her Loki or
Him.
like
Her.
him.
Him.
No, and that's the other thing, right? So I was like, what a 2024 scenario to be in with your cat that I have to actually change the pronouns of
Wicked.
my fucking cat.
Yeah, it's,
Fuck off.
your cat is a them.
Yeah, they, them, fucking he.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know.
I
love that.
want to ask you, what is the best diss song of all time? The best battle / diss song of all time?
Oh man,
'Cause you've been
I've
there-
actually got, you know, they did those films Beef and Beef 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got those DVDs. They're
Mad.
funny as fuck. They're fucking good. The K Solo one's really good. K Solo DMX.
Oh,
isn't it?
K Solo's sick.
Funny
Yeah,
as fuck.
yeah, it's-
But I think, see, I mean, I come from the age of like the first, from the Roxanne battles and stuff like that, right? So Shantae versus Real Roxanne and so on, and all of that. When I first heard The Bridge Is Over,
I knew you was going to say that.
well, it's just that way.
Yeah, but it's
just
there,
that
innit?
way. It's just that way because
It's like the OK Corral
it
or
is,
something, isn't
because
it?
it was
It's
like,
it's-
nothing was so nothing was as hard as that.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, like Tupac's Hit 'Em Up against, you know, it's a good tune. I remember hearing Hit 'Em Up for the first time when Westwood played it, right?
Yeah.
First time it had ever been aired.
Yeah.
Went
in
to
the
school
UK.
Norwich, by the way.
And yeah. Big up. No, I'm not saying big up Westwood. Fucking twat. Westwood's a twat.
He's not in charge of anything.
But anyway,
yet,
listen.
Once he does get charged, he's a cunt. No,
That's true.
So, yeah.
I'm with that. But the so hit him up was good and stuff, right? But I remember at the time thinking he's shouting a lot,
Yeah.
and the beat is like it's all right.
Yeah.
You've just basically rehashed,
Yeah.
you know, what's already been done.
Dun,
Whereas
dun,
Bridge is
dun,
over,
dun, dun,
when that
dun,
fucking dropped, when that fucking shit dropped,
That was-
no one was expecting that shit.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere,
It came
didn't it?
out of nowhere, and it was like fucking hell.
So who's that? That
and the best thing about it is the story behind it,
Yeah.
of how KRS and Scott La Rock went into Marley's studio as friends
Right.
and just stole all of Marley's fucking tapes of
Right.
like the reel to reels with all
Oh,
of
really?
Marley's samples. Went back, used all of his samples, and made a fucking tune dissing them.
Wow.
It's like,
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
that's fucking hard.
Come
Nah,
on.
that's gangster.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's fucking
hard.
naughty as fuck.
And not
innit?
only did they make a tune like dissing them, it's one of
With
the fucking
his
best
own-
tunes ever.
And
Best
with his
tunes
own
ever.
fucking-
with his own fucking sample.
I enjoyed.
Hard as fuck.
I enjoyed the
And
LL
they
Cool
absolutely
J
took
Cannabis.
Shan out. It took him out, and Shan's a better rapper than KRS, vocal, sound wise.
Yeah.
I feel KRS is a better rapper than Shan,
Yeah.
lyrically and stuff. But
I
I feel sound wise, Shan was amazing. But KRS just took him out. He just took him out,
Yeah.
and the whole crew.
But that's a famous one still.
I'm not.
What about that? Remember the Cannabis LL Cool J? That was
That's heavy.
Good. Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
good.
That was a good one, weren't
Yeah.
it?
What was the second round?
second round
Knockout.
knockout.
Yeah.
And then he made Can I Bust?
Yeah.
Can I
Bust?
Yeah.
There's a picture of them two after years later.
Cool J's better, but Cannabis did him.
Cannabis looks like a little
He
kid
did.
next
For
to
Venom
LL
and
Cool
everything,
J.
and
did,
just
he
like
did.
make you, do you know what I mean? Bust you with a cart, make you somersault and all that. Yeah, it's like,
raw.
when that came out,
It's
it's like,
raw.
I've got that on 12 still.
Yeah, it's raw.
What is have you done a lot of battles over the years?
One battle. Oh no, 2 battles. I battled. So when I was about 12 years old, my first proper gig at the Norwich Arts Centre was supporting Demon Boys.
Dope.
So Millie and Dan.
Yeah.
And MC Duke, rest in peace, MC Duke.
Rest in peace.
Still riffing.
Yeah, I'm riffing. So that night was amazing for me anyway. But then, like, somehow some dude from Luton got on the stage and wanted to battle me.
Right.
So we'd done a gig, and I think it's on YouTube. You can see it.
Yeah.
And one of my mates in the crowd basically pulled me up, and he went, "Just take the piss out of his clothes." I was like, "All right, you know, your rhymes are whack, man. Look at your clothes. You something like you dress like you're only 10 years old." And the whole crowd just went, it was shit, but the whole crowd just went fucking nuts and just jumping about. I mean, I was on fucking home soil, so of course,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna be hard. Apparently, he got a fucking proper beating after the show as well.
Did he?
Poor kid. I mean, like, he's just coming up to just trying to fucking like do his thing.
And that was the stage at the time, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
he got taken out.
Like, I'm gonna have a good.
But so that was what
cause some beef and like do a thing.
But then
do you know what I mean? Like,
I battled.
Yeah.
I battled. There was this guy in London called MC Fury,
Right.
who used to be the main MC for Westwood on the rap show.
Yeah.
Back in '96, I want to say about '96. I remember going to a b-boy night, so a breaking night in London, and they had like Shorty Blitz on the decks, and there was like a open mic cipher. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll get on the mic." And he basically came up to me and went, "Right, I want to battle." I was like, I don't fucking battle.
Yeah.
But
people did that
rap,
shit.
I'll freestyle with you. And ended up like me just basically doing my shit and fucking killing it, and the crowd like going crazy.
Yeah.
And then he comes up like in my face, like
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'll have the mic again. And just do my thing. And it was just like, well, I'm not battling you. I'm just not battling you. I'll give you fucking love because you're dope MC. Because you're a dope MC, but I'm not battling you.
Did you?
So that's pretty much me.
Did you during COVID or when we was coming out of COVID? Did you watch any of the versus battles? Because there were some dope, epic ones, weren't there? Would you have DMX against Snoop?
Beanie Man.
Oh, Beanie Man.
Fucking booed you.
Oh, Beanie
That's
Man.
that's where it was at for me.
Yeah.
That was the COVID. That was the verses.
Yeah.
All fucking. Didn't the police turn up at one point?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Beanie Man's the weirdest cunt. I saw him.
Oh, you told me about this. You told me about this.
Like, he was so cool though. I loved it. There was nothing like, but he was like almost like. He was just weird. He was just on stage, and he was like, and I was in the VIP pit, so I was like right at the front, and he was doing his tunes, but he's rapping to people, and he's just like doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, but he was being fruity as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But it was cool though.
Yeah.
It was like, mate.
Yeah.
And you could see the smirk on his face was like, fuck anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to be politically...
But that's how it was.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you watch that versus?
No, I didn't.
Because honestly,
No,
go
I
back
only
and
watched
watch
the
it.
rap ones, yeah,
It's
I
very
will.
much like that. They get to a point where they're just like they're vibing off each other.
Yeah.
And they've got history and they've got beef and stuff. But they're obviously fucking tight.
They don't give a fuck.
But it got like that. Beanie Man was just like. It is what he was wearing. It's
so
so funny.
He was so good.
Funny.
And just the look on his face is just like...
Enjoying
he's just
it.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck every one of you.
So
like kind of weird.
Just
do you know what I mean?
on that though, I take it you must have had battles.
It was a different kind of thing in jail. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more. I'd call it more clashing. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're just both kicking our bars against each other.
Yeah.
We're swinging swords against each
Measuring
other. Do you know what I
Just like
mean?
a bit of
Not in
banter.
about, you know.
I mean, I've said it on the show before, but like, I was so fucking hungry. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to eat rappers up all day long and just like I
I
was
got
so
that impression when I
hungry.
first met you.
Yeah, I just
I
wanted
remember
to,
you being
do know
like
what I
so
mean?
fucking up for it. It
Yeah,
was
like,
not
and-
battling, but I mean, I'm on about like just you're kind of like, I want to rap.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
fucking rap. You know?
So I literally turned 21. They sent me to an adult jail. They sent me from Aylesbury to Bullingdon. Gone on the wing. Do you know what I mean? Literally fucking put my bags down and I'm about who raps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got this guy from East London. He's coming to my cell. I've pressed play. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say fucked him up. He just weren't ready for that. He's like, whoa, fucking hell. Do you know?
So you're
Yeah, white
absolutely
guy
ready.
from Norwich.
You're
like,
ready. Yeah.
So the next day, this is like, if they ever do my film or documentary, this is like a thing that I'll always remember because he's come to my cell the next day. He's like, yo, you still want to clash? I'm like, yeah, fam.
Let's fucking have it. Yeah, yeah.
And he said, I bought my dog. So he had this guy from South London. So they both, I pressed play on a 45-minute or 90-minute tape, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think we like done a whole side of beats, so 45 minutes of instrumentals, do you know what I mean? And they was both going at me, and I was going back and forth against both of them, just cleaning them up, do you know what I mean? They were both dope rappers in their own right, but I was so confident and
Sure.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And at the end, they were both like, nah, you're sick, bruv.
Right,
The guy
right,
from
yeah.
South London said the only advice I'm going to give you is like, you know, talking about people's mums and all that. You might say that to the wrong person, do you know what I mean? Because you remember being in jail, innit?
Yeah.
But other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that, and then, so yeah, but
But that,
battles,
surely they understood it was like a rap thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, of course. And that weren't no beef. They became my friends and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was more of like we're going back to our cells at night. Oh, that verse that he spat today was sick. Watch this.
Mad.
And then I was like doing
Spurred
a painting.
everyone on. So you
Yeah,
could get
doing a
better.
painting and decorating course, and we'd all be ciphering and
Just rhyming.
yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, and sometimes it would turn violent. As crazy things happen during jail, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Not just in jail, in a high security jail, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Love
yeah,
it.
so I was never really a battle rapper. It's not my thing. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
no.
I got way too much. Like, I'm too touchy. Not nowadays, but back then it would have been like, what?
That's not gonna fly.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Guess
What
what?
did you just say?
Guess what's happening now? yeah.
Yeah, but I said it rapping.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. You see these like the emergence of this whole battle rap scene. You've seen that happen a few times. I'm sure you've seen them on YouTube. You know what I mean? You see these.
Yeah,
these
yeah.
battles.
When it goes
Go
like,
bam,
people
bam,
just like,
bam.
bang.
power driving him, you see
Yeah,
that one when
so-
the geezer picks him up. you
Yeah,
know?
crazy.
And there's
So
some
what-
like there's some American like I don't know like Japanese American guy who's like you know, and he talk about fucking, you know, the toys and games or whatever, you know, he'd always
Yeah.
go, and then this other guy was just like you know, taking the pity, and he got fucked up about it. This other guy against this Japanese American guy got all emotional about it. And started some beef, and then this Japanese guy just fucking ninjaed him. He roundhoused him. Do you know what I mean? He roundhoused
Crazy.
him, and the guy ended up like all confused and
It's
shit
not-
on the
nuts.
floor.
It's not just that. It's nowadays they're going into battles and they've got fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've
they've
seen one where he's got police
Wikipedia.
documents.
They've Wikipedia the
Do
fucking.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's got,
Actually,
you're a
like,
fucking
proper, like,
snitch.
you're-
you know, I've got
Wow.
the paper. Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Wow.
It's other ones where they're bringing up photos. This is your girlfriend from Facebook and like and all of that. And it's
Man.
like,
Fighting with poetry.
I mean,
Know what I mean?
you've actually been in that battle scene.
Yeah.
You've done it quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you not keen to kind of like go down that route again, or like
I'm
do it
just
again, or
way too old, but I do love it. I do love that because, like, the thing is like they take it so seriously, and they're all on this battle league and shit like that. And I
Yeah.
do not
Sure.
genuinely do not give a fuck if I win or lose.
Sure. Yeah.
I just want to take the piss
Just
out
wanna
of your mum
entertain.
and
Yeah,
your
yeah.
fucking weird little mannerisms.
Oh, you were
fucking
killing it, man.
fruity little fuck.
Killing it.
There's,
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's it. And it's just good fun. It's comedy. It's just a good laugh.
Mm.
And the thing is like, oh man, like I mean, you will slay each other, shake hands after, and go, mate.
Oh, it's
yeah.
it's no holding back, is there?
Nah, I'll spit water out of my mouth.
There's
Yeah,
I'm
it's
aware
dirty.
of time and stuff like that. It's definitely another couple of things I wanted to touch on. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
First of all, so you're working on something with Bucky, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically, a similar situation that I had with yourself, where I finished my last album, the Chrome Plus thing. So basically, where I've got a live band.
Yeah.
But the beats so the way that worked is I'd make some beats and then send them over to the boys, and they'd sort of like further produce them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Recreate the bass lines, recreate the guitar, recreate. But in that process, But in that process, exactly that. But in that process, I made a lot of beats that I was just like, well, okay, that's not going to fit with what we're working on this project. So then I'm sat with a load of beats. So I was like, Bucky seemed like the natural progression for me.
Yeah.
There's just like, there we go. See,
Yeah, I can't wait
it's funny,
to hear
I'm
that.
sitting next to this boy right here, and it's just like, why the fuck is this not happened? That's the nuts thing, isn't it?
What?
Because
you
it's like,
producing a project
why am
for
I
him?
not like calling you up? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
That's fucking nuts.
It's not that heavy, is it? It's just a phone.
Exactly. That's fucking
do it.
crazy.
I
But
think
I
it's
suppose
because you need you need guidance. You need someone to be like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
You're not like a Chrome or Licks type figure where, right, I'm organising this project.
No, I'm
Do you know what I mean?
I'm on day release basically.
You know,
I mean,
Red-
get me out of the house.
I don't.
You know that for a fact, Liu. You can't see Liu, but he's fucking beautiful. Fuck. But do you know what I mean? But like, yeah.
The mad thing is, it's like I know that you've been writing all this time, but I feel like I thought that you were working mainly with like what you're doing with Reds.
Yeah, no, but I've been doing loads of solo stuff, and to
Big
be
up
honest,
Reds.
most of my shit nowadays is pretty sad.
I don't mind a bit of sad stuff.
I like a bit of sad. I'm just gonna throw it out
I don't
there.
believe.
No, it's not sad, but as a more reflective. At the moment, at the stage that I'm at,
Is
at
it
the moment,
Schindler's List sad?
It's
Kind of
not-
like with a tissue sad.
it's always with the tissues.
It's fucking Bambi sad.
What kind of tissue?
No, it's just like I don't know. I went through this summer as I was in the winter. We even doing this on camera, but like I kind of was writing very reflective stuff. Through this summer, I've been writing sort of like I'm just trying to just like get the fuck out, like leak. You know what I mean? Like sucking
just-
out the venom. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit.
That's where writing is wicked,
Yes,
isn't it?
And I've
It's
come
like that
up with
moment
some
of
of
like
the
that
most
release.
I've come up with some of the most poetic and lovely fucking phrases that I've ever come up with in music. And then I'll rap them to Reds and stuff, and bless them, fucking big up Reds, you soldier.
Boom,
Absolutely.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Do you know what I mean? He's like, yeah,
He's a fucking soldier.
He's like, I can't jump on that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
right.
He's like, I can't
Yeah,
jump
it's
on
not-
that.
it's not what he's doing.
Nah, man, I do this. I love it. I want to.
Yeah.
But I can't jump on that, and so I'm just on this other thing in a minute. I don't know.
And I suppose the
just
other
like-
thing is, with what I've heard you record over previous years, with some of the style of beats that I'm making, I'm not sure whether you would really want to rhyme on them. I don't know.
I don't know what the beats are.
Well, normally I'm quite boom bap, right,
Yeah.
or quite upbeat and stuff like that. I don't
I've got
know.
them.
Maybe I should.
got
I
them.
should fucking send you some
I've
beats.
got them.
I-
I've got the like you know.
I think now would be a
The
good
technical
time to
shit.
send in beats. You
Well,
know what I mean?
let's fucking do that.
I've got
Yeah.
them. But if you could make what about if we do this then? If you make me a boom bap beat, I'll write a boom bap verse for it, and I've got boom bap verses anyway, and I'll smash it.
Yeah, of course you will.
and then-
I don't doubt that.
No, it's not about
in
that.
any
But
way.
then what about if you make a
Like more sort of chill.
yeah,
like,
because I feel
yeah.
like I'm age appropriate. Like I'm trying to be.
I've actually got the tune in mind. I've already got one. I've got one.
Yeah.
You
And
heard it first on Gangsta
you'll fucking
Hippy. We're
love
gonna
it.
make this
You'll love
happen.
it. It's a Peter Gabriel sample.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's like off the album with Sledgehammer on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's you'd fucking love this.
Yeah.
I'm already there.
I'm just about being
I've
a bit
got
more
a beat.
sparse, a bit more licks at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I'm being a bit more licks at the moment. I'm just
Yeah.
being a bit more like, do you know what? I'm just gonna fucking write this out. And then even it's not even ready. I haven't tailored that. I haven't like got it every syllable down, and I don't want to until I record it. Like the ones that I've done with Leo a couple of times lately, and the one I've done for you, lady, just to like I'll adjust it as I go, as I rap it, as I feel it, and do it that way.
Yeah.
It just feels a bit more organic for me. I just feel a bit like that way at the moment.
Okay.
Rather than just like I can do that.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Do you know what I mean? I can do that. I can do
that
it.
all
I
day.
can do
know,
that. I
yeah,
can
yeah.
do all of it. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just feel.
We're
I like the way you
gonna
do
make
it.
that happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's do that.
A Chrome DPF single at least, but a project would be nice.
Well, the three of us on a team would be
So I
lovely.
want to touch other things quickly. The production side of things. Do you know what I mean? When did you first start making beats?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
What was that weird little machine you
dunno.
had with a tape in it, and it was like, and then you had the
The 4-track.
yeah. What was that
MPC.
called?
So-
no, that wasn't NMPC. No, this is before that. This is like tapes.
Right.
And what was it? Begin
It's-
with
it-
R or something?
Well, no, it was a Tascam,
That's it.
just a 4-track. So it's a mini mixing desk, but with a tape player in it, right? So you get 4 channels, tape, and you can basically go drums, or whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the idea is you go drums, bass, guitar, vocal.
Right.
That's the idea. But of course, as a hip hop producer, you just like loop up drums and all that shit and samples, and then sort of add the raps.
Yeah.
But before that, so the first.
And it weighed about 8 grams or 12 grams with the tape in it, didn't it? Do you remember them? They were like-
Yeah. So, but before, I suppose the first thing I ever made properly
Yeah.
was Freeform, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, me and Joe used to be in this crew called Freeform,
Right.
and
With Ransom.
yeah, with Ransom, big up Ransom, bub. And my brother Arky, who was the Deftex producer, he had a rack sampler
Yeah.
and all this like production gear.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to use it, but I had the ideas,
Yeah.
so I had the samples in my head.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went to my brother and went, right, I want to make a tune.
Yeah.
And I found this old like classical music sample. Ding 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 ding, and then just got a drum sample over the top of that. Made it, took it to Joe, took it to Chris. Right, I got this tune, and we did this. That was pretty much my first ever proper production
Right,
tune.
yeah,
I feel.
Yeah. Okay.
So good things come to those who wait.
Yeah,
Oh.
good things come to those wait. And then they had a
That was
tune,
it. I think that was it.
They done a tune together called Two's Company, didn't you? And then
Yeah, but that wasn't
and then
my
I-
beat.
and
That
then
wasn't
I
my beat,
became
though.
Involved, and they were like, well, Three's
crowd.
Companies. No, Three's Companies. All right.
Oh,
Oh
right.
yeah, so we did
And
a
there's
track.
the irony
So
of
that's
it.
it. So Freeform originally was myself and Ransom.
Yeah.
With do you know Tester, DJ Tester? He used to do the nights at Mojo's. Elegance.
No, I don't
you
think I
know.
was about them times.
Big up DJ
Garage.
Tester.
Big up to
Boop, boop,
him.
boop, boop.
Graham.
We haven't. There's so many old school Norwich names we haven't touched on
Course.
because the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
of hip hop in Norwich is important. And
Yeah, yeah.
and thank you, by the way, big up for doing this because it's like helping document
It's nice,
like,
isn't it? Yeah, it's nice.
Norwich hip hop because it hasn't been yet.
So,
You know what I mean?
so
And
let's
it's
big up
the
Paranoid
one-
Parker.
big
Yeah.
up Paranoid Parker. Boop, 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 boop.
Big
DJ Just One. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, big up. all day.
The one person, I'll come back in a minute to what I was talking about, but the one person that should be documented that hasn't, it's like the cool herc of Norwich is
Right.
DJ John Plunkett, right?
Okay.
Freaky D
Right.
is the first person to have a set of Technics decks in Norwich. He's the first hip hop DJ of Norwich. But we can come back on that at another point.
Because we'll definitely do a part 2. There's too much to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can we just fly through? If it's all right, can we just fly through a few names like
Jock the Rock.
Dale Sperm? Yeah.
Dale Sillet.
Dale Sillet. But
Sperm.
he used to write Sperm.
A
completely artist.
killer graph writer. Amazing
Justin
graph
and
writer.
Jason. Can you remember them?
Justin and Jason. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old school graph legends of Norwich. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like early, like mid 80s.
Yeah.
Around the time when Shock was writing in Norwich, and
Right.
Shock's like one of the Shock's worldwide.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? He's massive. Shock. In fact, there's I think at the end of the show we're going to show an image of the Deftex graph work on the side of our minibus.
Yeah.
And that character, the imp that you can see, that's by Shock, basically.
Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
If you get your phone and then...
Oh, yeah, where's my phone?
So, boom.
Then there was
What we got here?
Gareth. What was Gareth's name? Ginger Gareth.
Oh, big up Gareth.
The thing is, it's like these boys used to like. They were like stalwart, like vehement, like, do you know what I mean? They were like full on, like, you know, they were like that early. I say this out loud,
so-
they were like the early Goldie looking chain. They were like,
Oh, totally. But check this out. Check this out. Like back in the days when I first moved to Norwich, so this is '86 sort of time. I remember Sundays I used to skateboard like with my shitty little skateboard down from Iceland on St Stephen's down.
Yeah.
And Sundays back in the day in Norwich, shops were closed.
Yeah.
It was a religious day sort of thing, right? So like shops weren't open. And I remember like one day I came down on my skateboard and every single white pillar the whole way down was tagged with DRS JMC. DRS JMC, and the tags ran the whole way down on both sides of St Stephen's.
Yeah, big up to
Nothing
him.
else. DRS was Dale, whatever his middle name is, Sillet.
Yeah.
He's going to get nicked for this. And JMC was Jason. It was Jason's massive cock.
Jason's
massive cock.
So, Norfolk Constabulary, after all them years of searching, you finally
Finally
find them.
cracked
You
the
might
case.
here it was. Do you know? Let's have a look at some of these pictures anyway.
man.
What's these are numbered by Liu. You've been putting in that work. What's number one?
Okay, let's go back into that so I can see this.
Let me see. Oh, fucking look at that.
You're looking like
Wait,
a
is that-
rocker,
which-
not a hip hop,
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
okay. All
with the
right.
devil's horns.
Yeah, crazy shit that is. That is my
That was his
first.
Chrome Alone stage.
Where is that? Because that is a mad little setup.
That's my so that is my so what is this? This is Christmas 1986,
Okay.
right? And I've just moved to Norwich, so a year and a half I've lived in Norwich. You can see on the top of the speaker there's a picture of there's the Beastie Boys' first album right there. That's my first ever setup of decks.
At the top.
So down the bottom left there on the speaker, there's a Beastie Boys. You had it just there. Yeah, just on the speaker there, just sitting there. That's the Beastie Boys' License to Ill.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just come out.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the aeroplane?
Yeah,
one?
exactly. Yeah. So, so I'm 11 years old at this point, and
11 years old, people. Come on.
I've
Jesus
got
Christ.
my first setup of decks there.
Yeah, we've got the Godfather in the house.
There's no. I love the fact that with these decks, there's no mixer in the middle. So I'm using. You might see in the picture there's 4 speakers.
Are
So
you
I've
using
got
the Switch?
I've got two speakers in one deck and 2 in the other, and I'm basically going from one deck to the other, and I've got like a controller
Switch,
volume
yes.
like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
turning the volume to try and scratch.
dope. Yeah,
It's just
loving
it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
loving the clock as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look
You
at
know,
that clock.
the proper 80s stuff.
Yeah, man,
Boom. So what's
proper.
happening in number 2?
So number 2, this is
in it. Yeah.
DJ Shaw D on the decks. You can see my brother in the background, Arky.
Which one's your brother? The dude with the
yeah.
glasses?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he
yeah,
looks like a cool customer.
Yeah, Arky.
Who's he next to?
So I don't know who the
not.
next dude in the back, but I tell you what, this gig was supporting DJ Cash Money and MC Marvelous.
Mad.
No way.
Yeah, and your sister was dancing for us that night.
Is that
actually,
not her there?
no, I don't think it
maybe?
is. I don't
You know?
think it is. No, I think that might be.
Just a haunting.
Yeah, just that's a haunting.
Like
A ghost. Yeah.
But I love the logo of like Wayne made that. I remember Wayne making that.
Yeah, I remember
Like
that on the albums as
Deftex.
well. Like, that's
Yeah, that's dope.
crazy. Yeah,
And I'm loving your swag, bro. I'm loving the trim.
yeah,
Look
man.
at it.
I got
Look
my
at it. Hitler's dream.
That-
right there.
the flat top. Check that shit out.
Yeah,
That's awful,
bro.
isn't it? It's awful.
I mean, the mic.
Yeah, it's bigger than
Massive to
me.
you. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Two-handed grip on that.
Yeah. Nah,
I mean, that's what I have to do on my knob now. But
That's the OnlyFans. That is fucking.
So boom.
yeah, go on.
What's happening here? Number 3.
Number 3
You
is
kept
me.
you kept with the same kind of hairstyle, but
Yeah, I kept my Bart Simpson look. You know what I mean? We went with the flat top and stuff. But that's me signing the contract for Virgin Records.
Wow.
There.
No, is
there you
it?
go.
Yeah.
That's history right
So
there.
that's me at 15, looking 10.
And that's them rubbing their hands going,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
fuckers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've got a gimmick on our hands.
Mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. And I see
That's
that there's
crazy, that's cool.
cans of
Bet
coke
you've got
all
that
over the place.
documented.
Yeah.
as well,
I was well happy that day. I was
Who's
well happy.
is this one of the record label guys? Is it?
That's right. It's management to the right there. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Michael
Dope.
Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, it's a bum. What's happening? What's
Michael
happening here?
Jackson. Number 4. So this is one of our first ever Deftex gigs. So you can see Damien in the background with the Street Sounds t-shirt on.
Yeah.
The dude in the back to the right is a good dude called Mark Fiddy, who's one of my old best mates
We got to him.
from Lake in the Middle School. He actually he rapped for a little while, but
Do I know Mark Fiddy?
I don't know. No, he disappeared from the scene. But that is at I think it's at Larkman Community Centre.
Dope.
Yeah, crazy. I signed my first ever autograph that day.
Yeah.
A girl came up to me and went, "Can I have your autograph?" I was like, "Yeah." Okay.
She saw the big gold rope chain. She knew what was going on.
Exactly. Look at that.
Did he hold that with 2 hands?
And that's
Definitely not.
Oh, man.
No,
That's pure
that
gold.
was,
Now, I'm feeling
she was like 7 or something.
I'm feeling that Puma tracksuit, bro.
That shit. Don't you bring that up? Fucking make me look like.
Crazy, honestly.
Now you look like you're putting some passion into that. Do you know what I mean?
I do like that photo. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
just,
me too.
The microphone is massive, isn't it, compared to me? It's so
Some of the
weird.
footage of like
It's so weird.
of Michael rapping like when he was younger. Some of the footage
It's
like,
strange, isn't it?
Oh no, it's dope, man. Like there's footage because you had that tracksuit on. It was like black and then white on the back and an African pendant or whatever, which is what everyone was rocking.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's Art Centre.
Yeah.
And oh man, like literally, you listen to him, it's like, man, he smashed it, killed it. Like
My balls hadn't dropped or anything yet. Do you know what I mean? It's a high pitch voice and
it
stuff.
was like Shaheem the Rugged Child or something. It was like proper New York style, but like, but man.
So what's going on here?
So this is which one we got? Yeah, that one. Okay, so this is right. My mum made this picture. That's why I only had this because of like my mum sort of put this in a you get your mum makes kind of like these albums.
Yeah.
It's that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
of course, they always do that. Yeah.
Right, always.
So,
Okay, so the flyer bit at the top. I was talking earlier about the first hip hop gig in Norwich that we did.
Yeah.
This is it.
Mad.
That's a ticket.
Oh, you got it all. Mad.
That's a ticket, right? Hip hop at the community centre in Lakenham.
Yeah.
So what's that? Saturday the 8th. That's crazy. Yeah, and so
What year?
the photo.
What year?
This is 87,
God,
and the photo below is us before we went to the gig.
I was 11.
Actually, I think it's the 10th of October, but I think it might have been adjusted by the
Oh
looks
yeah,
of it.
there we go.
The 8th is 8
8
till 10.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
But it's actually the of October. If you look at it.
Yeah.
So who are they again? Because obviously every picture looks different.
It's obviously
Left to right.
obviously me in the middle.
Yeah.
To the right of me is my brother Wayne, and to the left of me is Damien,
Show me Wayne.
DJ Shorty.
Is that Wayne?
Wayne was our
Zoom in
key.
on Wayne,
Yeah.
then. Jesus.
What's that? That's not an Averex, is it? What's that he's got on there?
What Wayne's wearing? Wayne was wearing some Puma. Oh, the jacket. I don't know, man.
Looks like an old Averex sort of style.
Yeah,
don't
it
it?
could- it could be.
Nights the other day.
All right, so boom.
Did you?
Where are we at with this next one? What's this
All right,
one?
so this was a few years on from that first gig, right? So this is after like we'd done Deftex Brixton Fridge thing, right? So we'd won that competition.
£2.50 a ticket.
We did, yeah. Check that shit out. We did this gig at the Arts Centre called Underground, right? And it was like, all of a sudden there was a bit of an emergence of Norwich rappers, and we basically managed to put on a whole fucking gig of all of these crews from Norwich.
All of
So
them from
I'm going to
Norwich.
shout all these fucking crews out because these guys need fucking like
Yeah,
documenting, man.
flowers, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who we got on, who are these guys then?
So Deftex headlined, of course.
Obviously.
Thank you very much. Dope Connection, rest in peace, Dane. Boom, boom, and Parish, Joe Parish, right?
Yeah, I remember Joe Parish. Yeah,
So yeah, 2 as 1 crew, which is Calaby
is it?
and TMO.
Okay, I do remember
Right.
that actually. Sorry,
Yeah,
my bad.
MC Charge, MC Charge. Who else? Lyrical Justice, Simon,
Yeah.
and Gavin, DJ Third Degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, there was a good crew of people
Big
there.
up to all of that. Are you still in contact with any of these guys?
So I'm good friends with Simon and Gavin still, and like Calaby, who used to work in Soundclash, DJ
Yeah.
Scooby,
Yeah.
DMB legend really
Yeah.
around these parts. The other guys like MC Charge, Rafi, I haven't seen for years. Out of Dope Connection, the two dudes out of Dope Connection, I haven't seen for ages. Yeah, I don't know.
But big
I don't
up
know
to Norwich
but
Arts Centre, because we've seen many venues come and go,
That's
get
the
shut
thing,
down, but they
yeah.
have always repped, you know what I mean?
Mate, I did my first proper gig. So even though that little community centre gig I did was our first gig, our first proper gig was at the Arts Centre.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got a lot of love for that place.
Yeah, me too.
Mad gig. It was a crazy gig. I've
Oh,
seen
right.
footage of it. And it was
So,
like-
boom.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was going to be an
So this-
NWA
this-
thing. I got more. Do you know what I mean?
So
What's
thi-
happening here?
Well, this photo is from that night. So that flyer.
From that night, yeah.
This is the photo
Okay.
from that night, and they interviewed us, put us in a magazine, and the NWA's Norwich with Attitude, of course.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
He'd,
so yeah, a lot of the people.
who's this guy?
That's Calaby. That's Scooby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Cal.
Yeah. He's the cool guy right
It's
there,
not
isn't
Tim
it? Like,
Westwood, it's
Hey,
Cal.
are we okay to clip? Yeah, I need to quickly go for a spin.
You okay? Yeah.
when you got to go, you can only hold it in for so long, can't you?
That beer is properly going through me.
You're gonna cry.
Just clip. I'm fucking into this.
I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Well, that much was true. Right, so boom, that's a picture taken after the gig, and this write-up is in what magazine?
Back then, there was a local magazine called Scratch. So it only ran for about a year or so. I think it was like a local sort of fanzine,
Yeah.
sort of type thing. But yeah, they did like a three-page spread, which was quite cool. You know, and
You end up on page 3?
No. Is that what you would have wanted?
God, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I want to see those.
So yeah, there's a good mix of people in this photo though, of like, you know, the local scene, the b-boy scene. So Wormy's in there. You see
Is he?
Wormy? Yeah, look.
Oh shit, yeah.
Next to Mark.
Is that Mark?
Yeah, look, Mark in the
God, he
striped
looked
top.
like George Michael back in the day, didn't he?
Who's Mulatto MC?
So Mulatto MC is the guy
TMO, isn't
at
it?
the back. Can you see?
No, I remember Mulatto.
There you go. TMO.
Yeah, TMO.
'Cause
Yeah.
Let's read what Mulatto
So-
MC says about you. He says,
Go on.
As Mulatto MC, I have bridged the gap. But anybody who's seen MC Chrome, the most experienced rapper, he's one of the best rappers here in Great Britain. Probably you know what I mean. White rapper, you see. More and more white. So he's bigging you up. Out of everyone, he could have said he's
Mad.
showing a lot of love to you there.
And rightfully so.
Right, so,
he's a
boom.
good man.
Oh, hold up. What's going on here?
Okay. This is
This is an interesting one. Let me just zoom
that
into
was,
the
that was a
crucifix.
crazy gig. This was us at Glastonbury.
This is Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we played
2005?
2006.
2006.
Yeah, 2006. Crazy gig. Naked nuns on stage.
Slutty nuns.
Yes, slutty nuns. They got
Slutty nuns.
properly
Because
naked
you
though.
can't tell if it's a naked nun. Because
Well,
they're naked.
at the minute they're not, but
No, they definitely.
but they got properly naked,
Okay,
like you know.
alright, well,
Right, they let it all go.
Oh yeah, tits out, everything. It was just like, what the hell's going on
Okay.
here? At one point, like, you know, I was having to show my ring off. I was just like, you know,
No, you
Do you
need
know
to
what I mean?
explain what ring.
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
Yeah.
got naked,
They
the
were
ring
so
came out.
sexy at one point I had to show off my ring.
yeah.
So this
So
is
you have to come on. You
this
have
is
to-
Glastonbury.
It was crazy. She didn't have a dildo or anything. I was like, come on, what's going on?
The fact that
still-
you done
And
Glastonbury.
still you felt like Gollum because you had your ring destroyed.
I didn't
Is that
really.
what's going on?
No, but it did get crazy though. They were getting so like, especially Mark was loving it.
There was one of
He
them I
was
wanted to
loving it.
marry.
He was, yeah,
There was one of them that was just like,
yeah.
you wanted to
and
marry.
not to, honestly, mate. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? How hot do you need to be?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there was one of them.
It was
that
crazy,
just
wasn't it?
like,
It was nuts.
"Fucking hell,
So you performed at Glastonbury. That's big. Just once, or
Just the once, yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
But it was amazing. It
Yeah,
was
dope.
amazing
man."
moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was wicked. Yeah,
was fucking
Lost,
brilliant.
Lost Vegas. I performed there, but we different,
We all
different
went to-
sets, wasn't it?
No?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I performed just with tags, and or maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
I wonder where the slutty nuns are right now. I wonder if they settled down or what happened
Yes,
with them.
very
Big up
blurry.
them. Big up your hat as well.
Yeah, the festival hat.
Is there
Look at the
anyone
state of
else?
that.
Who's this guy?
That's not a guy, mate.
No, I'm on about him. I'm not looking
that's
there,
me.
bro. I'm not looking.
That's
look,
me.
Come on, bro.
Oh,
What?
in the back.
That's
Okay,
me.
so on the decks, we had. That is. Is that Tara or Hungry Ghost? I think that's Tara. In the back.
Looks like you needed the Holy Ghost there. Don't know about Hungry Ghost.
That's another haunting.
Yeah.
You heard
So
that,
like I
haven't
think pretty much.
I think it's
I think
Tara.
like he's got some sort of spiritual.
Yeah, I don't
problem
know.
going on
Well,
with
basically,
it.
we had Tara and.
Yeah, there was
Oh.
Hungry Ghost was there as well.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember when he first got there. Big up Hungry Ghost, but like when he first got there, he was like, "I want to go home."
Yeah.
You know, yeah, he's that introvert. Like, I want to go home and play
Didn't
with
like
my.
it, did
synths."
not like it.
He didn't like all the people.
He didn't like it.
And
did
I
he?
think I think Tara even had a fucking crossfader on his keyring
Yes.
Right.
so that he could go
Mad.
and
Yeah.
figure out his things. 'Cause
He did.
He's like,
He's
well,
scratch-
definitely
scratch
on the
happy.
spectrum.
He's a bit scratch happy.
He's like, you know, full on. He wrote some of his scratches like in notation.
He's a genius.
Yeah,
That's
do you know what I
why.
mean? Like wrote it down. Like I've got this.
He came
thing, and I'll write these symbols.
He
and
came
then I'll
fourth
do
in the
that.
world recently in a scratch,
Dope.
a scratch
Yeah,
tournament.
big up to
fourth
him.
in the world.
Yeah.
Right,
And
that's
then
dope.
he'll pick up a guitar. And
I think
just
it was fourth,
become good
maybe
at that.
third, I don't know.
And then I gave him a puppy, right? I gave him a dog.
Styles.
Styles.
Oh,
I
rest
gave
in peace,
him
Styles.
a dog, right? And he lived opposite a field, and he would hit this golf ball.
I
For
thought
the
you
dog,
just say
and-
hit the dog there.
No,
Right.
no. He'd hit this golf ball, and the
Right.
dog would run after it, and he was like, "I quite like hitting golf balls," and then because of the twat
Just
that he
became a
is,
fucking master
semi-pro fucking
Yeah,
golfer.
yeah.
He's
You know what I
one,
mean?
he's one of those people.
Just one of those people. It's just like,
You know, you had those people at school that are just like, "Fuck you, you're just too good at
Good at
everything."
everything, yeah.
yeah.
He like, and the next thing he's like, "Oh, I think I might play darts today." Oh, look, I've just done
Please
180.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
one
like,
of them
oh,
was there,
it just
yeah.
seems to work out perfect there.
Nah, big up
Do you
to
know what I
him.
mean?
He's-
Let me sort out a self-perpetuating energy source that actually solves the
And then,
world's
like-
problems. Like, oh, done it.
But I mean, if you're
Dickhead.
watching, bro, like,
Big
Yeah,
up Tax.
fucking
Nothing
do
but
it.
love.
No, Tax is... What?
Genius.
No, I didn't mean to take the piss out of him. I'm just saying it's fucking...
he did, yeah, he should get everything.
It was
Genius.
It's almost annoying how fucking good he is at
Yeah,
everything
no,
that he
yeah,
endeavours. Do you know what I mean? Like he'll
yeah.
try something and just become fucking good
A
at
master at it.
it. Yeah, it's
Good.
just like
He's good.
Jack of none, master of all.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think I do feel in that picture anyway. The dude at the end is at the back is Tara.
Oh,
That's
boom.
how we
So
got onto
that's
that.
what we just wanted to stay on the nuns for a while. I think that's
Yeah,
what it was. So what's happening here? That's the Deftex logo, is
that's
it?
the logo.
So this is what I was talking about with so the graph writer called Shock, who's kind of like well famous in a way.
Yeah, he's amazing.
That's his character. My brother made the Deftex logo,
Dope.
but he basically did all of the imp and the kind of amazing graph work on
Lincoln
there.
Imp.
What is that
Yeah.
on? A van or?
So this is a minibus that we got out of the back of the Virgin Records deal, right?
Okay, dope.
we got all this money. We decided to invest it into a minibus,
Right.
which Damien drove around, and
Yeah, yeah.
we did all of our touring and that.
Yeah,
and,
makes
and
sense,
kind
yeah.
of like
He lost his virginity
and on
in
top
that.
of that. I didn't, but I think Damien definitely probably did a lot of that
I
shit
said
in
Damien
it.
did.
Oh,
I
I was
didn't- I
going to
wasn't
say,
saying
sorry.
it, yeah.
Oh, Damien had lost his virginity when he was like 12, I think, or something.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Big
Is
up
that
to
right, Dean?
the
I don't know.
Damien and
Yeah,
Virginity.
it was a wicked van, and we had lots of parties in there. And yeah, the fact that we had the fucking arrogance to get our logo sprayed on the side
Yeah,
of it.
fucking
Yeah,
right.
I
Like,
saw it. I
the
saw it. I
Deftex
remember
would be
seeing
on,
it when I
man.
was little. Yeah, I
That's
remember
nuts.
seeing
It's
it.
nuts, isn't it?
It's like, yeah, of course you do.
You know,
That's
it's
what
just
you
like,
do.
yeah, fuck it. We're signed to 10. We're
Tour
gonna
bus.
fucking be loud and proud about
Just
it.
quickly,
yeah.
did you ever graph yourself? Was you a grapher?
I tried. I was rubbish.
Okay.
My brother, though, on the other hand, was amazing. So
Yeah.
he was basically part of the same crew as Shock.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, my brother was properly dope.
He's
He
another one of them
did a
guys,
piece of
though,
Sam.
isn't he?
Have you seen that piece?
What?
So Wayne did a piece called Rock up at the top of the Dell,
Right.
and the middle face was Sam.
Was it?
Yeah.
My sister.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. I'll have to show you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wicked.
He's almost like another one. He's not almost, but he is another one of those guys
Talented
that's
guy
Just like, yeah,
that-
just like.
He's one of those. He's a quiet person, my brother. Very quiet, but he's kind of. He can turn his hand to different things. He's very creative
He
and
just focuses
artful.
on something so
Yeah.
much that he gets it done, doesn't he?
I mean, I say this, and I remember saying this. I remember doing the Blade interview,
Yeah.
right, with Bill, and I remember at the time saying about my brother making beats for that Serene Bug album, and around that time when he was peaking,
yeah.
I don't think there was many better in the country that
Nah.
were making beats like
Not
he was.
really. And the avant-garde way of
and Blade
it
said to
being.
me, "Well, if that's the case, why wasn't he bigger? Why weren't other people working with him?" And I suppose the whole thing was it's like
wasn't
because of
as
where
extrovert.
we were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Completely.
I don't know.
It's always been, I think, the problem with Dan Norwich. You know what I mean? It's like,
Let me put it out there. Norwich has got a whole heap of talent, but it's geographically challenged.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's not a Bristol, a Birmingham, a
No,
Yeah.
London or
It's-
Manchester.
Yeah.
Always had
No
that
one-
kind
no
of
one
like,
goes-
it's a
there's no-
disconnect, you know.
There's no like thoroughfare. There's no, if you go to Norwich, you're going to Norwich. You're not going
You're
through
stopping
it.
there, innit?
People go through towns and stop and settle and do the
I mean,
thing, and then in Norwich it's just like there it is on the bubble. Do you know what I mean? Like on the outside thing,
Yeah.
and then but you know what? I love that.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm all good with it. Okay, it hasn't served certain things well or whatever.
Financially or whatever.
But you know what I mean? But I think we've got our own stance on things, because when you get to like Manchester, Birmingham and London and stuff, people follow suit and everyone sort of dilutes the style that they wanted to do. And I think that we've in this, whether it's recognised or not, who cares? Have actually like gone, do you know what? I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going like, nah, I'll just do it the way I do it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like that's important. Like
one
it's
thing's
a
for
whole new
sure,
thing,
and-
like doing it.
and even from the amount of names that's been spoke of tonight, there's always been talent there. Do you know what I mean?
Crazy talent. I mean, Norwich it's got such history for hip hop. You know, even the breaking scene of like the Force 10 crew, and big up Doy, big up Wormy, big up Califex, big up Heron, all the crew that Doy and Worm for b-boying in Norwich
Oh man,
were they were basically ahead of a lot of the people around the country. They were obviously breakers around the country that were killing it.
Yeah.
But for a small city to produce two b-boys
Yeah.
that were actually at that fucking level. is crazy, because there weren't
Like
many
the-
cities that had
the heads,
that capability.
acrobatics, the head spin game was just like
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
And I think that's the thing with, you know, the whole Norwich thing is just like, we're a small city, but actually we do sort of packed a punch.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the energy within Norwich, the history within Norwich, do you know what I mean? It's,
There might not be 1,000.
Norwich is a
MCs,
historic place, isn't it? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely.
And
I feel like
There might not be 1,000 MCs. There might not be 1,000 DJs. There might not be 1,000 breakers. There might not be 1,000 producers or whatever.
graph writers or whatever, but yeah.
graph writers. But
Yeah.
but the caliber of some of the people, like, come on,
In
like,
our
I mean-
small scene.
I mean, like, you can't deny, if you watch some of the videos of Doy and
Crazy.
Wormy, like, it is nuts. Like
Yeah.
that shit. I mean, it is.
they were
nuts.
so committed and dedicated to it, and I think that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
and it comes same with us. You know, we're committed. Tara and Dewey, like on that DJ level,
nuts.
the commitment.
That's what I was going to
And
say.
it-
It's like, and the skill level is like you said, like fourth in the world. Come on, the skill level is like ridiculous. The
Artistry.
amount of like attention that he put into his skills Do you know what I mean? Or into the project that he wanted to do is just phenomenal, and he became fucking amazing.
It's mad. We don't.
Tags is like
As
come
a
on.
city, we don't look like we do hip hop, but we fucking do hip hop.
Definitely do.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
mean, we've
I've
all
got
probably
to
had
give
it
you
where
your
people are
flowers.
surprised where you look at someone looks at you and don't expect that
Yeah,
to come out
exactly.
of you. Do you know
of
what I
course.
mean?
The other thing is we don't all look like hip hop.
That's what
I've
I'm
got to
saying,
give you
yeah,
your
yeah,
flowers.
yeah.
You're like, you tell me you're the most like heartfelt MC I've ever met.
We all put our bit
no,
into
I
the
know,
scene, do you
and
know
I'm
what
not
I mean?
blowing smoke up everyone's ass or whatever, and I'm not getting carried away or anything. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a level of talent in this city, and I don't even care. Like it's about the city. It's not even about the city. It's just a level of talent that is here. Do you know what I mean? And like we've got Chrome here now. Like, come on, like
The
do you know what I
God-
mean? And let
the
10
God-
years old and do it. Do you know what I mean?
The
Like, and,
Godfather. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm gonna try and wrap things up, but there's
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I reckon it's been a few hours, so I'm aware of that, and we're definitely gonna do a part 2, and I'd like to get you on there with
There's a
other
lot
people.
to touch on. Yeah, well, Bill needs to come on this.
Get
You
you on
know.
with Bill, just one. There's different people
Yeah,
that can.
definitely.
But all your music is everywhere, and do you know what I mean? You just got to look for you.
Pretty much.
You know, you got videos on YouTube. You got old videos. I was watching. What was the Do Re Mi?
Ah,
Do
shit.
Re?
So you know, I was saying the Brixton Fridge thing.
Yeah.
That's what we started with, right?
Right.
So Damien came out before me and Wayne came out on the stage. Damien was on stage by himself,
Yeah.
and he was playing Sound of Music.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. It sounds
Right.
dope.
That's when people were spitting.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, fucking rubbish. And then Damien sort of drops this beat in over the top of the.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that. Yeah.
Female dear.
Yeesh, and that's all it took.
And people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's a crazy mix, yeah.
So,
Nuts.
and you got music all over the place, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Check
yeah.
out Chrome on, you know, it's everywhere. Spotify, Google Music, iTunes, wherever you listen to your music. And where can
New
we...
tunes dropping soon, by the way. I've got, there's a best of coming out very soon, but also a brand new single, two-track single coming out in about a month's time.
Dope.
And then I've got a couple of features with Uncle Mike Nitro and Cure Rock and Filmos Chill.
Dope. Big up to them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
look forward to hearing them.
Coming up soon as well.
And where can we find you nowadays? You still doing the Rumsey Wells?
Rumsey Wells, third Saturday of every month, running since 2011?
Wow.
Third Saturday of every month for the Rumsey Wells.
Third Saturday
With
every
myself,
month.
DJ Just One, No Half Step and Crew, Ill Inspired.
And that's...
DJ Leon, Our Shit.
Just one.
And
Yeah,
that's where
Just
you
One,
can find... do you know what I mean?
Ricky Dozen. Yeah.
Hip hop is still alive in Norwich. Do you know what I mean?
Bam.
Just it's there. Also, wanted to say, big up to Sally Fox because she always picked up you two, and she
Auntie
was
Sally.
influential in me meeting up with you two guys. So she always pushed me in the direction of getting with you two.
Yeah, big up.
Always like to
She
big
was
up
also in
Sally.
that Cadillac sniffing coke. Yeah.
No, she weren't.
Yes, she was.
And also, what was I gonna say? So is Gonzo's a regular thing? Or is that?
Yeah. Well, the hip hop thing or not?
Yeah, just you doing a night there.
The hip hop thing, I'm trying to push a little bit. I'm seeing if I can get something going there a bit more.
It's
But
lovely
yeah,
in the
Yeah,
summer
yeah.
on the roof,
yeah, it's
man.
perfect. It was
So
lovely.
good.
Big up Mike and Brad at Gonzo's. Boop.
Because
Yeah,
you know,
we're
you don't
trying
just
to
mix,
push it.
You
and-
don't just mix hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
soul,
I
disco,
like my
everything.
music, man.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I like my music.
It's been an absolute pleasure, bro. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? I've learnt loads about you tonight. Do you know what I mean? It's been epic and historic. I've learnt loads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
and
man.
we've definitely aimed it up. With part 2 will definitely come. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I
But
look
yeah,
forward
big
to
up.
it.
Keep
Thank
doing
you,
your
man.
thing. I'm sure you will, bro.
Thank you.
And big up to you, bro.
Big up.
You've been a perfect host, and we'll have you on
Yeah.
again
Yeah,
soon.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And,
We didn't even get into the nakedness.
Yeah, we didn't. Do you know what I mean? When,
It didn't happen.
You know,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
when DPF lived with Chrome, DPF put his willy between his legs.
Yeah, we talked about when we found a human finger, an actual human finger.
We found a human finger.
It's not even,
You can find me with my rap, I'm always writing lyrics to a beat. Even when I had a kick into a beer, intoxicated with a funky flow. Possibly I'm dropping the stuff, a funky flow. Don't you know that that's the stuff that really flows from all? I wrote a novel of this poetry, you know it's me, I hope. I leave a mark upon a track with my rap, and that's a fact. I'm set, smack more powerful pop than a sawed off. So just walk away like a mall cop. Guards crack when they charge an attack. Overwhelm the whack like a shark in the back. More cold than a solar eclipse. I froze your lips and laugh as I hit them so they're broken to bits. Now you're silent, sitting in a cell, I'm a citadel. Saying I'm sicker than a sickle cell. I tip the Richter scale with the flick of my fingernail. And flip prey like a killer whale. Your lack of wisdom, you have to listen to this catechism of rap religion. Amen. One rhyme and I leave it behind. A body outlined at the scene of a crime. When I move the crowd, ready to rock, I send a shockwave to the place when I drop. I prove I'm out, got mic control. I'm tight when I'm handling my mic, got it roll. And I move the crowd, ready to rock, I send a shockwave to the place when I drop. I prove I'm out, got mic control. I'm tight when I'm handling my mic, got it roll. You want better word, many heard, no matter what. We can back it up, popular punchlines and sounds. Word, and put it all together like the weather, make it better. With a cover on a never ending words that go forever. Till the beat fades away, I keep on running with the syllables. Running when I get it, well I can't stop, so still I will. Fill the beat with patterns because that's the way it happens. It's a natural progression, not a lesson from a rapping. All night, just keep jumping around. To the rhythm, motherfucker, really like the way it sounds.